Hey guys, and welcome to War Talk Episode 7. Already lost the title, but it was something fishy. Rocket tanks and BR ranks. There we go. I could never get that to roll off my tongue without reading it. Anyway, with me today, as always, Classypax, AverageAdam, who's typing really loudly on his keyboard. That's right. Sorry.
Wow.
Nah, it's fine. We always pick on him. And Eisennhower, as today's guest. You were sick last Saturday when you were supposed to be here.
Yeah, you want to see a picture?
We should show that picture. Oh god, we should.
Put the picture on stream. Everyone unfollows immediately.
Oh god, we should. Damn, I didn't prepare. That was a great idea. We should have had that picture on. I can sort that later. We'll get that with the Jingles Watch. We'll get that with Jingles Watch.
We should have put Jingles in that picture.
Oh. Jingles cleaning.
Jingles caught stomach flu.
Oh god. Oh, that would be great. That would be great. So how you're doing, Eisennhower? What you been up to? You've been streaming a lot?
Yeah, I've been home all week streaming every day, having a good time.
Every day?
Yeah.
You're one of those who doesn't stream on a schedule, though, do you?
Yeah, Thursday through Sunday.
Ah, cool. Alright. Anybody who wants to know where to find Eisennhower when he's not here on the podcast, you guys can find him on twitch.tv/Eisennhower. You should see his nickname just under his beautiful beard on the video. Alright, today guys we'll be talking about, god damn it, the notes guys. Alright, today we'll be talking about some things, highlights of the patch notes, some things that we find interesting to talk about. We can't go through all of the patch notes because, you know, there's just too many and some of them were not there. So we'll touch on some of those things. And what would be the second topic today, Pax?
Basically talking about the premiums and the BR ranks and changes.
So pretty much
Calliope.
everything is patch
Calliope.
changes then, pretty much. All right.
Certain planes to certain BRs.
So yeah, pretty much patch related things.
Patch related stuff all episode long.
Patch related things.
That's
See what
awesome.
I did there? See what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did. All right. Who wants to bring us into this first part of the patch note discussion then?
How do I? Well, who's diagonal? That one.
Who are you pointing at?
Or Pax.
Oh,
'cause
I
he's
was pointing at
diagonal.
Pax.
Hey, I think Eisennhower should be the debut here.
Alright, to the left.
What do you
Oh,
want me
yeah,
to
I
talk
got-
about?
To the left.
I gotta look down now.
You want to talk about some of these new vehicles? Or are we talking about
Go
the
for it.
premiums?
Whatever you like to start with.
Whichever end you like to start with, if it's the front, the back,
Or the middle.
you know.
Well, we can talk about the Calliope
The
Sounds
Calliope.
like a Calliope.
and how ridiculous that thing is for $50.
So, but have anyone here actually tried it? Like, have you?
Yeah, I've tried
I
it.
have it.
So
I
you
tested it.
guys bought it.
Pax bought it.
Pax
I bought it.
went.
Pax is what's
went-
wrong with the system.
Pax went. Pax went. It's
Pax
OP.
like, I'm so upset. It's so expensive. Here's money.
Well, actually, in his defense, he didn't buy it, but and like he bought it as soon as it came out and just went, "Oh, this looks cool," and then kind of everybody's gone, "It's OP," and now he's not using it. Like I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think
Wow.
he's got
I
any
use this.
skills
I
in it.
haven't
Hey,
used it since I don't want to be a douche. I'm
if-
like, fuck, $50 to like stare at it in the damn hangar.
If I spend money on something, I'll be playing it. If it's OP, I'll probably be playing it even more so until they nerf it, because then I won't be playing it as much, I guess. You know. It's not...
So that's the rub, though. They're eventually going to nerf it because it's
They
universally
are.
agreed
They
that it's
have
OP.
to.
So how
And they're not
OP
gonna
is it?
refund
Like, what are we
anybody's
talking about here?
$50.
Like, how
You're
easy
gonna have a
is it
sea
to
of fucking
aim?
tears when they nerf it.
How easy is
There's
it to-
one thing they can do to make it so that they can keep it where it is and not even nerf it. Well, one way of nerfing it, you hit that thing, it blows up. It's got to be a glass cannon.
It has to be
Like,
every
that would be
time,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, like if you shoot a big thing of rockets, it's basically like 1,000-pound bomb going off on the ground. I mean, like it should just go boof, done.
Wait,
right? But
how does
obviously, if
rockets
you have
work
the
now?
drop
Do
on
rockets
someone,
really
you're gonna
explode if
win.
you fire things at them? Like, really? Like, doesn't...
It's like taking a rocket on a plane and putting it on a tank. It's literally the same sound, the same rocket models, everything.
Yeah, but I mean, would it explode if you fired something at it?
A rocket? I'm not a rocket scientist. But it's a video game, and what I do
Yeah.
know is when you hit the fuel tank on a plane in this game, it explodes. In
Right,
real
you
life,
hit
probably
ammo.
not. But in this game, it's just part of the game.
All right.
You shoot ammo in the tank,
If
it
you get
blows
a
up.
Explodes.
Tiger in the front,
All right,
it
I
dies.
agree now. So
There you go.
So if you do hit the thing at the top, Calliope. Is that what it's called?
Nothing
Actually,
happens.
Calliope.
nothing happens. It's like
Nothing happens.
nothing.
You
Nothing.
just
It seems
Blasts
like
you
it's-
and rockets you.
It's the equivalent of shooting the barrel. You basically are just putting it out of misery. It doesn't like. It's not like you're
Because
shooting
it's so
ammo.
high, you can be hold down with the whole goddamn Sherman and still be shooting at people.
Yeah.
And you could, I mean, there's no reload time. You can just spam rockets. I know it's inaccurate,
what?
and that's probably how they thought
There's
they would
no
balance it,
reload
but
time?
making it hard to aim. But you can
Well,
just
once
spam
you
rockets
use up-
until one hits and one shots something.
Once the rockets are out, that's it. Like
Oh.
there's no
That's it,
reloading
yeah.
of the rockets.
You
Oh,
get
there's
your
60 of them.
65.
How easy are they
rockets.
to aim though?
They're pretty difficult. Their arc is
not
their
gonna
arc
hit
is
anything.
standard, but like I don't
Do you
know
have an
how
aiming
it fires.
assist
Like
reticule in arcade?
no,
No.
no, there doesn't seem
Just
to be
gotta
any
get used
kind
to
of.
it.
Yeah, you just got to get used to it. I don't know if it fires from the left or to the right,
But I
or
guess
if
if you
there's like
have,
a.
I guess if you have 60 rockets, like, oh, that one didn't miss, I'll aim it. Like, you can adjust.
You're gonna
your
have a
aim
hard
per-
time hitting anything over like 500 meters with that thing. It's tough.
Yeah, it's more of
Oh.
a shotgun tank. It's more of a. Oh, you
The
got really
thing of-
close up. KV2.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't bug me that okay they got brought in a Sherman. It's a tier 2 tank. They put a rocket thing on. That's all that fine and dandy. But you know, them charging $50 for it when they're testing it,
They know
knew
what
it
they're
was
doing.
OP as shit. They're like, people are gonna buy this. They're
They
gonna
knew what
buy
they were
this.
doing. It's a
I'm,
cash
I'm,
grab.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I'm
time to pay the
I'm-
salaries
I'm
over it,
thinking
Gadget.
about buying it. We'll see tomorrow on Golden Hills Sunday if I give into it or not.
Just for fun, while we're talking about it, I'm gonna take it out for a game, and I'm just gonna let you know how it goes.
just
Live.
Wait,
Doing the
okay.
podcast.
Where is it though? It's under the.
It's under the US.
Yeah, let's see. U.S. Oh, I was on Aviation Army.
Make sure to look lower, BR, because obviously that's where it belongs.
Because I've done a new thing to the War Talk this time around. I've made it so that people can see the game. Whoop whoop. All right. I mean, it looks pretty nice.
I am the only one in this game with it. There's that.
Well, so isn't that a thing though? You guys are talking about it this being OP, right? How? I mean,
You're
not
gonna see
every
two
player will
kids.
have it because it's an expensive purchase.
It is $50.
But it's like an arms race. Once more people have it and more people are getting wrecked by it, more people are going to buy it to level the playing field.
So, okay, to not get stuck on this one particular thing too long, how
This is
what-
feeling a
what
lot
is-
like that Tiger situation again that just happened recently with that M46, right, Adam? It's pretty much the
Yeah.
exact same jazz that's going on there. It's like, oh, look, a Tier 5 plane at Tier 4. How convenient. Oh, sorry, Tier 5 tank at Tier 4. How convenient.
Yeah, the T-28.
Or you can test drive it.
Yeah.
It should be more like indirect artillery. Isn't that how it was used?
What?
Nobody was going
Yeah,
around in
it
this thing
was-
shooting at the tanks with it.
Yeah, no, it was like a long direct. It's like the Nobelwerfers for Germany, right? It's just a lobbing
Yeah.
rocket to like batter down an area. It wasn't meant to go driving on the front lines and rocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if anybody took that out on the front lines in the actual war, they'd be dead.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's like-
obviously we're playing a video game here that doesn't even have an incorporated system like that at all. So
Right,
it's just
kind of
strange
like-
that he would even. I mean, it's cool that they added such a unique vehicle, but at the same time, I'm having a really hard time justifying it. Of where, why would,
So-
how does this fit in the grand scheme of the game's development plan? You know what I mean? Shit
mean,
like
a lot of
this makes
nations
me
have things.
say in the back of my head they are going to add U-boats. Like that's just the way of adding something like this is a prime example of like, yeah, we're going to see U-boats.
I struggle to believe there are going to be U-boats just
Well,
because.
Well, I'm hoping
Because it's a Russian
'cause I
company
wanna
and
have
most are
U-boats.
German.
Ooh, good point, Eisen.
I mean, have you seen any new German premium vehicles in all this premium vehicle
No,
rush?
not
No.
a
Or
single
Japan.
one.
but these
but-
are weapons of
single
victory, not weapons of losers.
Ooh, nice!
But in their defense, they did state before the patch that they were going to focus more on British this time because they didn't get a lot from the last patch. The last patch, British got nothing.
They didn't get
Waiting
any
for the
tanks. 'Cause they don't have any.
Storm Tiger to get added.
Oh my
Oh,
god, the
that
thing with the
thing.
205mm cannon.
380mm rocket.
Was it 380? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
I wouldn't surprise me if it was their end game. If it was their end game TD, because I mean that thing would really be a tank destroyer.
I mean, maybe they're adding all this
Right.
stuff because they need to
Whatever
make money.
tank
to
this
start
is,
on
it's
ships.
eating these rockets and doesn't give a shit.
I just hit a Tiger broadside and it didn't die, but I died.
Oh well.
Been goofed.
Wait, what was it? Test
That's
proven.
a good question. If
Calliope
you drove
isn't
right
big.
up to a tank and shot a rocket at it, would you die too?
I
Probably
tried splash damage myself against a building. I couldn't do it. But
Oh,
mind
really?
you, I'm not too sure. Maybe there might be some system put into it so that your guns can't go off that close to you because you're dumb. I mean, there might be something like that. I don't know.
An anti-idiot mechanic.
But you know, like other games, like Battlefield does that. The grenade launch doesn't go off at your feet so that you don't kill yourself by accident. Like you actually have to it has to go a certain distance before it explodes. A lot of games
I
do
would
that.
like to bring up a counter argument and say that can't be true because World of Tanks is full of idiots and that can do splash damage to yourself. You could drive an artillery piece up to a
Bottom
wall.
line,
Here, I'm gonna go try it again right now. I'm gonna run up to a building here and I'm gonna shoot the building from right point blank, and I'll let you know. But yeah, besides this stinking Calliope,
What do we think? But I mean,
I mean, one of the biggest issues with it is right now nobody can clarify or do anything about those rocket tubes. Like
Nothing.
those rocket tubes, if you hit them, nothing really happens, and you don't feel any kind of satisfaction. But if
What
you hit an
happens if
ammo
your
rack
gunner-
or a fuel rack,
If your gunner gets locked unconscious, can you still fire the rockets?
ooh, that's a
good
question. Who fires the
Because
rockets?
if you can, that'd be OP.
Maybe the commander
It's
fires
still
the rockets. He
firing
sits there. He just has a button. He's like,
he
click,
just
click, click,
lights
click.
them up,
His-
just like fireworks.
Like firecrackers, yeah. Shoot bottle rocket.
He opened the hatch like.
He's got a really long stick.
it was actually wired into the tank.
Oh, boo!
No, really,
That ruined
do you
our
think?
fun.
It goes to the commander's viewport slots and do a
Oh.
wire down to the tank. But I'm pretty sure they had personnel on the outside. It was parked, stationary. Personnel was on the outside. I mean, they don't want this thing blowing up right on top of a tank with a guy inside of it, right? It's not exactly. I mean, we're talking about
'Cause, yeah,
World War
I mean,
II rocket
this
technology. It's not exactly that great.
This tank can't have been used as it's being used in the game.
No, never. No,
Probably
not in a million
bombarded
years.
building.
Like it feels like something they're like, hey, we can bring rockets, or almost like what would you say, like almost like artillery to the front lines, using these tanks. They can carry it for us, right?
Right.
And that's probably what they did. I would assume, like they used that, like that.
I was about 20 feet from a Tiger H1. Put about a nice 6 rockets into it. Didn't do any damage. None.
But okay, short conclusion then. They added this thing to the game. I mean, do you guys feel like they shouldn't have, or what should they have done differently?
As
rushed
Pat
it.
said, I don't feel at the moment it has it doesn't seem to have any real purpose. Like it's one of a kind item. Like
That's why it's
there is-
premium, probably. You know, it's one of a kind. Hey, you get this if you buy it.
But then what
The
purpose
entire
does
reason
it
for its
serve?
existence is to make money for Gaijin. It doesn't.
That's all.
Contribute
these games
anything
are
to the
designed do.
game at all.
Exactly.
Of course, there's this is a way of making money.
I mean,
The
they could
question is
add-
if it's
Yeah,
if
but
it's
they're being
game
egregious about it.
breaking, or like how could they have done it so that it didn't break the game? Or, I mean, I don't know. Like I'm trying to understand what.
Okay.
They
Could've
could
made
add
it
a
indirect
they could add a
artillery.
motorbike with a recoilless rifle, and if people would buy it. I mean, like they're going to add
You're talking
whatever
about that
people-
French tank or French
whatever they
motorbike.
think they want. Yeah, that French motorbike with that
With the 20
recoilless
millimeter,
rifle.
I think it is. Is
Yeah,
it 20 or 50?
no, it's a recoilless rifle. I'm not too sure what the actual size of the shell is or the disposal of it, but yeah, I mean, like,
I know it's an autoloader.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna add
yeah,
whatever
people
people
would
want.
buy it.
It's just that simple. I mean, because it
But-
is a free-to-play model, so they're gonna buy the things they want. They're gonna either buy things that are make them unlock shit faster, or they're gonna buy things that are cool. That's just how the model is.
I
It's
feel
not like a full
Gaijin's
retail
just
game.
Trolling the forums, looking for what vehicles people are screaming the loudest for, and then they add it to the game as a premium to make some money.
Exactly. You know how
alright.
many threads have been about
But
that
because I don't
T26?
see I don't see how
before
Gaijin
it
did
was
something
added,
wrong.
everyone wanted the Calliope added to the game, and then they added it, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, OP nerf!"
And the turtle. The turtle's another good example. Like every tank game's like, ooh, add this weird looking cool mammoth-y tank, and everyone's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And Gaijin's like, that's money. Let's do it.
But they have the premium, like they have the T28 and the T95. So it's not like the Calliope where there isn't a free version. It is the only way you're getting it is if you throw eagles at it. And I think that seems to be the biggest problem is that it, like when there's Russian versions of this, like things with like loads of bloody rockets strapped to the back of it, but it's more of a truck rather than a tank. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure Pax, you know, because you played Men of War. I've seen it in there, and it fires off loads and loads of little rockets. Like there's a Russian version.
Oh, the Russian version. The Katyusha.
Right. So are they going to have?
They're going to add it. I bet you they are.
Is that going to be a premium as well, or is that going to be?
Oh man,
like surely that's going to be premium.
If they add a Calliope, they're going to add a Katyusha. Guaranteed.
Is there a British version?
If they add a Katyusha, they're probably going to add that German tank that shoots a rocket. It looks a lot like a Ferdinand, but instead of a big long barrel, it's this really short stovepipe barrel that shoots like a single 100.
Eisennhower said it earlier.
What was it called, Eisen?
The Sturm Tiger.
Sturm Tiger. If they're on the
380mm rocket launched projectile.
Yeah.
Designed just to defeat hardened bunkers and things like that.
It was
meant to have that thing
clear.
Hey, we need that. The mouse is a hardened bunker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but you just get the Calliope just to fire one rocket at it, and there you go, problem solved.
Exactly.
Like the uniqueness. Calliope is just like a taste of what potentially is to come. I mean, then we have a Katyusha, the Sturm Tiger. I mean, Japanese had some weird ass experimental shit like that. There's an artillery piece called the Mattress, which is basically just a rocket on this weird spring thing that shot like a big 200mm rocket as well. It wasn't really a tank, but I mean, they're going down some strange routes. It will not surprise me because they already have half tracks and trucks in here. Think about that.
All right.
I mean, when British get in,
what did you just link, Eisennhower? What the hell is it? Oh, V2.
That's something that's going to come in as a premium. 8.0 battle rating, $60.
No, that thing.
Did this really exist?
No, it did. The funny thing about it is that they shot all the guns broadside and it flipped over because of the kick. Yeah. Yeah, the more you know. I mean, like typical Russian design.
Let's not even try this before. Oh shit! It tipped.
The engineers didn't think that one through.
Nobody thought about that when they like, how wide is it? It doesn't need to be that wide. It has to cross a bridge. But no buts. Build it. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not going to surprise
me.
me. There's a good chance we'll even see the British Commando Jeeps with the howitzer on the back of it, or that 2-pounder. I mean, we're going to see some crazy stuff.
Hey, I want to see this.
What, the British Commando tank?
No, the
Dewey
one Eisen linked.
You want to see that in game?
Sure.
You want to see that in game?
It looks awesome.
They already have something that's a smaller version of it in game already. Yeah. What is that? What's that premium? No.
Look at this Japanese ultra heavy tank.
Yeah, the
28mm cannon and 275s.
SMK.
SMK. So they already have one. They're just one turn away.
Or are you talking about the T-35, the land whale?
I think it's the T-35 I'm thinking of. Where is it?
The T-35's got 3 guns and is kind of like a village. The other one is the SMK.
Like a village.
It's more like the It's basically the SMK, stretch it a bit, add another bigger turret, and you got it. I mean, like, that's pretty much what it is. It's got a turn time of like 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Well, look how long it is. Think about it. 2 treads, that narrow turning. I mean, come on, dude. It's just going to grind up the dirt and just...
How long is that? Like, you've got a dude in there for reference. That's like 10 dudes. That's like... That is literally like a village. Like, that is going to be a village.
They took a boat, they hacked off the buies and put on treads. I mean, like,
that can't be in, like...
And they'll still probably knock your gunner unconscious and you could sit there and do nothing.
Yeah. It's okay. I have 50 crewmen. I'm fine.
There's 40 different gunners.
7 of them. Exactly.
Like 2 commanders.
The crew point. It's like the bomber
It'll
crews.
still get one shot by a Calliope, though.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. No problem. Although I was just in that game, and that was kind of strange. I don't know if they did a shadow or something already, but I was shooting the back of a Tiger H1 on the rear end of it, just rocking them up and down, and didn't do anything.
I now want to
crazy.
See what happens.
I had it in a test battle, right? The Calliope, and it like was it a Panther? I was like firing side, front, couldn't do shit. I had to kill it at the rear.
But were you using rockets?
Yes.
They might have shadow patched it already.
Yeah, I think so too.
They might have, because I couldn't do shit to it. Not a thing.
I'm gonna test drive it and drive out to the mouse and see what happens.
Is it still $50? I mean, I've already bought it, so I can't see anymore.
Yeah, it's still $50. It's still the same price.
So
interesting.
It's overpowered, overpriced. It's gonna get nerfed. People are gonna cry.
I don't mind the price if like for what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a one of a kind of like a collectible. You know what I mean? Like
it's a whole new game for $50.
You know what?
You can
I'm
buy
how
with
many of
you.
these
five
things
for
were built?
$50.
I don't want these things to be cheap.
But how many of these things were built? Like I can
Andreas,
understand. Like the
that
mouse.
We're setting
yeah,
a
the
dangerous
mouse is
precedent by
unique.
having premium vehicles cost $50, because then in the future all the fancy premium vehicles are going to cost $50.
Oh, they've already started.
Eisenhower's right. Eisenhower's right on this. I mean, they've already previously had a bunch of like the BTD, that awesome 2 torpedo bomb. I mean, then we're talking about the XP-55, the XF-5F, all these really unique planes. British has a shitload of them because they're different nation planes, like the French ones and stuff like that. Those are unique planes. They were never even near $50.
Well-
and then all of a sudden, Gaijin comes out with this tank that's unique. It is definitely unique, and it's
But-
$50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta say though that over the 2 years I've been playing, I do feel that the new premium price has gone up.
Yeah,
There's a
every-
cost
You,
creep.
you've seen it. You've seen it. Like, it's 6,000 now. It's like just look at the tier for tanks. They're like base price 7,480, right? And now it's 9,000. You know, so. Yeah.
I want
The
to see
problem is,
what their
guys are putting
marketing
it in for
team,
$50,
their
and
mentality.
people pay that price, and they're like, oh, well, they're willing to pay $50. Maybe they're willing to pay $60.
We don't know how many
how
has
high you
bought
go.
it though. We don't
No,
know.
this is your typical case of pre-order syndrome. They're gonna,
Yes,
if
exactly.
you're buying it, they're gonna sell it. That's
Yep.
just how it works. If money comes in, they're gonna keep doing it. The minute money stops coming in, they're gonna change it. That's how it's always been. Vote with your wallet. And if people keep buying it, they're gonna keep charging that much
Yep.
because obviously they're making profit. It's that simple. It's that simple. I mean, obviously this is their first move, very bold move, at a tier 2 at $50. That is bold. I mean, I bought it because it was a kick-ass looking thing. And I,
Yeah,
I
you're
like-
contributing to the problem.
I like how you're sitting here trying to be like, oh,
I know.
it's so bad. It's like, but I did it.
Yeah, vote with your wallet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Exactly.
the
No,
problem.
that's true. I bought it. I experimented with it. I dabbled with it.
Yeah,
because
so
it's
so you
cool.
gave them
I like-
permission to have that price.
ever since this patch has been the coolest thing to happen for particularly my mode, sim mode. It's been the coolest patch. I give money to the game when I think they deserve it. 1.4, what was that? 1.47? Didn't give him a fucking cent. This patch gave him a lot of money. I gave $100 to the community and $50 toward a Calliope, and then the $75 just recently for all those premium planes because I am having a good time. I voted with my wallet.
But
No,
hey, here's the thing. Like at the same time, I'm all on the same page. I really want more people to vote with their wallet, and you know, I wish more consumers would be like, you know, like they talk a big mouth on the internet. They're like, I don't like all this pre-order thing where they give me special things if I pre-order, but I don't get it if I don't, and all these, you know, oh, pre-order and you get this DLC on day one, which you otherwise have to pay extra for. You know, all these weird things, right? And people like, oh, you know, it feels there's a big majority out there who's like, oh, we don't like this practice where they put out something out, you know, you have to pay a price. However, this is a free-to-play game, and at the same time, like I was saying, people say that, but still they obviously buy the things. They still keep encouraging the behavior. So I don't think we're gonna see that go away. And with this is a free-to-play game. Gaijin needs money somehow. I obviously really don't like it when we see an increase in, you know, day one premium vehicles just getting like more and more expensive. Like this is double the cost of what it used to be some 2 years ago. But at the same time, they gotta make money, right? And
they've also added in this weird Russian roulette thing of discounts on the premiums where you potentially can win one of those 10 to 20, 30% off.
I got a
Things
50%.
with the-
There's a big difference between making enough money to operate their company and continue to develop in the game and getting greedy and alienating their player base. And if they do too much of that, you're going to see a decrease in the number of people playing the game, which is bad for all of us.
Well, so
and if
far
the player
they
base
haven't.
decreases, they make less money from their regular purchases, and then they have to start doing more cash grab type
But
things
I
like
don't
this.
think they
And
haven't
it's a,
seen that
It's a
yet.
vicious cycle.
It's a
It
tough
might
model.
be.
It's a tough
It
model to do
might
that. It's
be
always
a
a game of
vicious
balance.
cycle.
It's always going to like go
Yeah,
up and
it's a
down.
very fine line.
I'm not sure we're in that vicious cycle yet, because so far
This
the game
patch,
overall
I think, is
gaining.
very close to the
I
wrong
think
side
this
of that line.
this patch they poked. They wanted to see how far they could go.
Yeah.
And
Like
we'll
this
find
Wings
out.
of
I mean,
Victory pack, $75 for 6 basically reskinned premium planes. I can't. How do you justify that?
But it is premium planes.
Yeah, but all these planes already exist.
Yeah, but
the most
some
part.
people want to have that, extra. First of all, they they usually don't exist in what is it, like their original country, right? Like, so you can play them with another nation, and you get the added RP and XP gain.
Yeah, because
And
the
the
British
fully
needed 2
modded.
more
Andreas,
Spitfires.
the premium, Andreas, it's not a different nation thing. One, I don't like
Yeah.
that personally, but it's the premium ones for British are British planes.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
premiums for American are American planes.
And the
new
Russians are
premiums
Russian
for Russian
planes.
are
Yep.
Russian planes.
Just
no,
reskinned,
it's nothing like
basically.
that at all. Yeah, I mean the LA7 is a pure reskin. The
Yeah, but
American one,
it's still premium,
and
so it will
they
gain
put them
you
in early.
RP and
Like
stuff.
Eisennhower was just reading on the forums of where it's like placeholder flight models right now because we're talking
Yeah.
about a P-47 that's a tier 4 compared to its tier 3 counterpart. So I'm wondering what they're going to do to it.
5.7.
So how do you
Yeah.
but the question then might be, how do you guys want them to make money? You seem upset when they release a tank that is, unique as a premium, but when they do a reskin and ask for money for that, you're upset about that too. It's like, wait, how are they gonna sell
They're
premium?
pricing them on the wrong side of the line, I think.
So you'd want it
so-
to be cheaper.
High.
So you wanted
I
it to be
think
It
cheap.
depends on what the individual
Yeah,
wants.
if they were cheaper, it'd be fine. I wouldn't be
How much is
upset about
the
it.
let's see that.
$25 for the Calliope, fine. $50 for some skins, $10 for a new premium plane, fine. But
Now, here's the thing,
$75, $50, I
It's
mean,
so
most
weird
people
that
that play
they
this
do
game
this.
are kids. How much money do they have?
Fucking loads, because they'll ask their parents. for it.
There you go. You don't know how free to play works. Okay, yes. Majority will probably be kids who doesn't have money, or a small percentage might be getting some money from their parents, right? That's not the people paying for the game. It's grown-ups, adults who have money, who spend money on the game that is paying, and it's always going to be a small percentage of the entire user base. That's how free-to-play works. There's going to be a certain percentage of the player base that spend money, want to spend money, and keep doing that, and that's what's financing the game. And those who don't spend money, to some degree can't be sitting here like, oh, we don't want there to be ways for them to make money, because then they wouldn't have a freaking game to play, right?
Yes.
There's
I
gotta
don't
be a way for them
begrudge
to make
Gaijin
money.
making money, but like Pax has said, there's a fine line they have to walk to not alienate their players.
Maybe this is too soon.
Or
Maybe,
we wouldn't be
maybe-
sitting here,
maybe-
if these were priced reasonably, would we be sitting here talking about it for 30 minutes? I don't think so.
Well, you guys think so. Like, you guys think they're wrongly priced. I'm not.
You don't think
sure
so?
Yet. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Wow.
Like, if I could
This
see their
is-
stats, like, I don't know. If people spend money on it, how? Like, if let's say
$50 is a lot of money, man.
$50 for the Calliope, I don't like, but I'm not because it's like like the more I think about it now, with the Calliope not seeming to be as powerful as it was when it seemed to have come out. Like when I test drove this the first day it came out, I could one shot a mouse. Like
It was nuts day one. Like
I fired
did 3
all the
rounds.
rockets. It didn't seem to scratch the surface. So like they've obviously done something. So would I throw $50 at this now knowing what they've done to it? No. Would I have thrown 2,500 at it? Probably still not. But this is at least something that I'm happy to spend money on because it's unique. The other things, because it was different, it was also quite OP. Like, would I have been happy to have thrown money on it as well because it was quite powerful potentially? The other things are at least trialed and tested, like the LA7, the P-47, the Spitfires. Going into them, like particularly the LA7, which doesn't seem to have had any difference to it.
It's just a hero skin. Yeah.
If you like it and it's a good plane and you enjoy flying it, but you still need to grind the rest of it, I would be probably more willing to spend more money on that because I've tried it, tested it, and I like it. The Calliope is one of those things where it's cool, it's different, it's OP. Like something like the SMK, which is different, but it's kind of derpy and it kind of has a useless gun, but it has a useful gun at the same time, is something, while it's unique, doesn't seem to have any kind of advantage personally to me, so I wouldn't buy something like that. But something that has 60 rockets strapped to the top of it, that sounds crazy. Like that's crazy enough for me to want to throw money at it, but I didn't.
I
Because
think if they're asking
because I was worried.
$75 for some sort of pack, there needs to be a value there for me to spend that kind of money. It needs to be cheaper than buying the individual things. And these packs include 30 days of premium. Previous packs that they've sold had 60 days of premium and 10,000 golden eagles in them. Those were good values, and people bought them because they were good values. These are not good values, and I can't imagine spending that
No.
kind of money.
Yeah, the
the
premium
packs-
thing's a weird thing they sprinkled on. It's kind of weird like that, yeah.
Yeah, the packs themselves, with, as you said, with only 30 days. But I'm more talking about if the vehicles were also sold. Let's say they weren't packs and they were sold like in-game ones, just like all the other ones are. I would have less of a problem sort of buying those, because if I do, I do quite like DLA 7. It's a good, fun plane to fly. It's very powerful, and it's a tier 4. Is it tier 4 or tier 3?
But did you buy the pack?
No,
The Wings of Victory?
No. I've grinded most of the things, so I don't like. To me, if I need it, like I'm saving most of my eagles for when the British tanks come out, because I would want to buy a premium for the British tanks to grind those faster. Let me just double check what DLA 7 is. So the LA 7 is a tier 4, so I would be quite happy to buy that, because that would help me then grind my jets, because it goes a tier up to tier 5.
How are you saying that these packs for it's 52 euros for me right now? Okay, how are you saying these are not good value?
Because they don't come with any eagles like the other ones.
No eagles, not enough premium time, and most of these are reskins.
The thing with the reskins is they really missed on a good opportunity there.
I mean, the Black Cat isn't unique, right?
No, the Black Cat.
I mean, there's so many vehicles from World War II that they could have added that aren't already in the game. They don't need to be reskinning things that already exist. But it's harder to make a new vehicle with a new
And they're
flight
probably
model
working on
top.
that, I would assume. Like, they're probably working on adding new vehicles, right? And they wanted to add
buy
something
unique
here.
vehicles. I don't like buying reskins.
Alright, so again, the Black Cat, is that a reskin? Or is that a new vehicle?
Yeah, the Black Cat is a reskin of a tank that's just come out.
Yeah, the M18.
Alright, so it's still a new tank, this patch, right? So
Yeah, it's a new tank patch.
okay,
Your definition of new, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm looking at this pack. Weapons of Victory, Tracks of Victory, right? I get 1, 2, 3, 4 premium tanks. And I look at premium tanks as premium tanks. They give me added RP and XP, for example, right? Which, having premium rank 4 vehicles, in my opinion, is pretty nice. It helps me grind out rank 5s. And I get 30 days of premium. I mean, if I take these 52 euros that it cost me and split that into 4, I don't feel these vehicles are that overpriced, right? Because you were just sitting here complaining about how a vehicle was overpriced when it was the same amount of money as 4 premium vehicles and 30 days of premium here. And you're saying that's bad value now, just because in the history of things they have older packs that had insane value. Is what I think it was. Like the old packs with 10,000 golden eagles and 60 days of premium stuff, they were insane good value.
You're talking like back when there was 20 ranks, right? Back then,
I
when
just
the
feel
game
like
was
premium
Those
vehicles.
packs still
trying to get
exist.
into
Those
the
packs still
spotlight.
exist, though. They haven't removed those far as I know.
And remember, every
Premium
year they have
vehicles
that
should be
annual.
special. They should be rare. They shouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to make an entire lineup of premium vehicles. They shouldn't be just adding premium vehicles to the new game. It's becoming all about the premiums now, and it's getting dangerously close to crossing the line to kind of pay to win at this point. Because if you have enough money, you can buy nothing but premium vehicles.
But still,
But how is that pay
They
to
don't-
win? That's
yeah.
just pay to progress. Like
Some
if
of
it's
the
same
premium
vehicle,
vehicles are OP as shit. The I-301.
Day one of the
I-301.
Calliope.
The Calliope's been nerfed.
The first week of
Calliope.
but it's still right out of the gate. It's like, here's your
Yeah.
little advantage. They got their money. Remember, it's a one-time money transfer. So if they get that rush at the beginning, they get their dollar, and they're like, oops, sorry, we made mistakes. It's a little too much of this and that.
Yeah, nerf it.
Fix it. But they
Right,
already
so-
got the
But then
money.
you can't call something OP when
it's
it
not
first
OP.
came out. Like if it was still OP, like if I had gone into that game just now and one-shot a mouse still, I'd have said yeah, it's OP. But I fired 60 rockets into a mouse. It didn't do anything.
Like
so-
the mouse, for example, should
Not
be a premium
today.
vehicle. It's a unique, it's a rare vehicle that wasn't even used in the war. It was experimental. These kind of things should be the premiums, not
I have
reskins
to
of actual
agree
vehicles.
100 and full with Eisen here. Premiums should be you're buying something that is unique and it stands on its own ground. You should feel like it's something absolutely different. With these reskins and these variances, but it's the exact same plane, just rehashed with a different color, and they add a little bit of parameters. This is where they could have really done a lot of opportunity with the community, of where you work with the skin guys from Live War Thunder, do basically a reward system where they get a certain percentage. All of a sudden, you have content being made for you. They get a little bit of a monetization from it. Gaijin gets a little bit of monetization from it. Everyone's happy. Now, with the premiums, there's two type of premiums that I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, the reskins, which is okay. Some people like it for historical reasons, like, oh, this was that. He's one of my favorite pilots. I'll have it. But I don't know if that fits in the premium realm. Where it fits in the premium realm, in person, from my opinion, is these really oddball prototypes, maybe one or two made.
Absolutely.
Yeah, unique planes. Those fit, in my opinion, a shit ton better into the premium forte. Because then when people see you out there, like, ooh, that's a cool thing. Like, where'd you get that? Well, that's one of the premiums. I'm going to check that out. That's where it fits nicely. I'm not a big fan of captured ones either. Like, I think captures are stupid.
Yeah,
that's my mode. That's my mode. I mean, like, if you look at the American A6M2, there's a within your choices of like the color scheme, it's an exact zero, a V103, whatever it's called. So you're flying around and looking exactly like a Japanese player on American side.
How does that work in the sim? Doesn't that fucking cause major problems? You can't identify enemy?
Yeah, we talked about that in this episode.
In this patch, it's not so bad because you get within the 0.8 distance, and then a name will pop up. So there's always that. But I mean, from a distance, you see those red dots, and you're like, okay, whatever, just ignore that, right? But then it turns out that it's actually, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. But it's not like they can, like, what can they do? Can they revert on all these choices now?
Okay, I was gonna when the chance appeared here, I was gonna say that, like, I agree with the fact of, if we were if we were to start out making a game like War Thunder now, and we were deciding how are we gonna do our premium vehicles, I agree wholeheartedly that I wish that when they were taking that decision, when someone was trying to, how are we gonna do this, that it should be like premium should be unique vehicles that don't exist in the regular tech tree. That would be the incentive to buy them, right? But yeah. I'm also scared if we were at that point now where we would be deciding this before any premium were out, right? I would also be scared that as a consumer I would have been scared that maybe now that means that they're gonna be deciding which are those, like they might be taking some very common vehicles and just put those into premium. Like there's always gonna be that, like, are they really gonna make a good job out of this? Are they like everybody's gonna be fucking paranoid they're not gonna be making a good job out of this. And now though, looking at how War Thunder looks today, obviously there's really no going back. It's not like they can change their way of, like, I mean, they could probably like stop adding more, I guess, but they gotta do something, right? And
because this is one game, Andreas. I mean, planes have been in the game the longest. Tanks are rolling in, and every patch they're trying to give something to everyone. We have over 260 planes. I mean, obviously they're gonna start running out of planes. Because
I don't think they're gonna keep adding premium planes for eternity. I honestly don't think they can even do that. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm just talking about, like, aren't we too far into War Thunder to go like, oh, we're just gonna entirely change our policy and just make unique vehicles, planes, ships, whatever it is, be premiums? But they can't really go back and change. Like, people have already bought premium vehicles. They can't take that away. You know what I mean?
I mean, okay, so
they will.
Yeah, I mean,
World
of Tanks is stopping selling of quite a few premium vehicles. So I mean,
World of Tanks.
World of Tanks is stopping the sale of quite a few of their really old premium tanks. I mean, we've seen it here before. We've seen the Spitfire for Russia pop in and out so often. Like, it's now just a ghost practically. Like, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. It's like you just don't really care about it.
No, yeah.
But with the whole premium being exclusive tanks, that's quite a difficult and fine line, especially for a nation like Germany and Japan, where the Americans, British and Russians kind of won the war and were able to sort of advance their tank technology and plane technology. What about poor Germany and Japan, who kind of got ruffle stomped and now are going to be faced with sort of tanks that are way above their grade? Like, if the mouse was a premium, like, how would you then go up against the IS-4 or the M103? Like, what would you use? You'd use a premium? I don't think so, because then that is pay to win.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, sure, reskins are annoying, but at least that doesn't make the game unfairly balanced. Like, the Tiger 1H,
just look in the damn game if you have it open.
Yeah, but it's called, it's that really complicated named one. It's a premium Tiger. It's the
the BFW BFW 7 or 6.
No, the Tiger P, sorry. The Porsche Tiger.
Yeah. The Panzer Volkswagen.
Yeah, Panzerwagen.
Yeah.
That's a unique vehicle, but yet it's kind of similar to a Tiger. Now that doesn't cause any imbalance. It's just something that's unique. So that's fine. That's a unique vehicle. It's a prototype.
1 second, Adam. Just 1 second. Is it the exact same model, just reskinned, or did they put the effort in and make a different model? Even if it is
It's longer and it's narrower and it's completely different because it has a different transmission system.
That's cool. That's a different, yeah.
Right, but
they put effort into it. It's not just like send it off to the texture department and put a different coat of paint on it, right?
But it's not something like the mouse, which is completely unique, two of a kind.
What about the situation though, where two manufacturers made two different versions of a prototype?
What about the C-95? The C-95 is a prototype tank, but that's the endgame American tank destroyer. So how would you then balance that one out? Like you can't. Like, we can't just say all right, I'm using two examples.
Technically, the mouse didn't do dick shit either, right? It was technically
I'm just happy for once we're not agreeing on a thing here.
But the mouse, it has a purpose, and that's a very important purpose that it needs to go up against. That's
a whole other problem. You shouldn't have Korean War IS-4s in the fucking game.
But you have Korean War jets. You have Korean War jets.
Hold on. The game is supposed to last that far.
Yeah, the tech tree goes that far.
No, it's not a World War II game.
It's got jets.
Have you read up on the game before you joined it?
It should be a World War II game.
Oh, that's a whole different topic.
How do you balance Korean stuff with World War II stuff? You have to put shit like a prototype mouse in.
Of course.
Eisennhower is absolutely right. You can't balance a game when a certain nation didn't end up finishing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like that's just going to happen.
Japan and Germany didn't have shit that can go up against Korean War
If you want to
stuff.
get them involved, guess what? Lend-lease and prototypes. That's just the way it's going to have to be.
Yeah.
All right, so Germany had jets in World War II. So the ME-163 and the ME-262. We're going to talk about arcade because in simulator they're pretty slow. But what about in arcade? How would you then face against those guys? The ME-163. Yep.
No, it's ridiculously fast. It's crazy.
Well, with the 262.
They still match up fairly to the highest tier props.
No, they don't.
They do.
Sure, they do.
They're nice.
The battle rating for it is 9.0. It pulls up, lets you stall out, and then it just dives on you. Like that thing could end the game in 6 minutes. Huh?
What's a 9.0?
The ME-163.
Oh.
Okay,
So
yeah, it's different for arcade. Yeah, sorry.
You're then saying that all right, it's a World War II game, but then you need something to then compete against it. Sure, you could say props, but I wouldn't want to go up against an ME-163 in a prop. Not a chance unless I'm going head on against it, and I know damn well they're not going to let me do it because there are a damn lot of good jet pilots. So you need another jet. So when's the next jet that comes around? Vietnam. Not Vietnam.
Other countries had jets that kind of made appearances in 1945. The Meteor.
The Meteor. So there's one. You have the Kia for the Japanese. So there's two.
Kika.
And then you have the bloody Yak 15 and the Yak 17. I don't think those two are going to be able to be very competitive against the.
When the MiG-9 come out,
I think that's Korea because that built off of the 262 engine. So that's slightly after. So there's a lot of things that they've added to the game that if you want to say
you're saying they added Korean War shit to balance late war jets. That seems.
Well, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's close.
When they set out to make the game, when it was in like closed alpha, and they were like selling the game and telling people, "Hey, we're making this game called back then it was like called World of Planes or something like that," which they had to change. They were like, "Oh, we're making this game. It's gonna be from early World War II up to Korean War era." Like
nothing past 1953.
That was their.
Yep, 1953.
Okay, that was their timeline. So I'm just saying, like already when they were drawing up this game, even before, and that's obviously before they even had alpha. I'm just saying before they even announced the game, when they were at the drawing board, we're making this game. What are we gonna make? They decided to go for this timeline. So. They didn't, let's add this later on after we announced our World War II game. Oh, we're going to extend it. They didn't do that. They sold the game on that premise.
Yeah, right. Then you have the huge problem where you're trying to balance Korean War vehicles for America, Britain, and Russia against.
They would have problem balancing the game any freaking way.
Yeah, the game.
Holy shit!
Problem.
This is one of the most difficult. It's just like any MOBA. It's like fucking clusterfuck to try and balance it.
I disagree with it being as difficult as a MOBA because you have you can't balance history. Like the Tiger has like as we said in
So
previous
you mean it's more
episodes, the
difficult
Tiger has absolutely the Tiger is
Absolutely.
the Tiger has one of the most notoriously amazing histories. Like, how do you say the Tiger, with its ability to kill 170 confirmed kills by some
When you're
commanders,
playing an online
versus a
game,
Sherman?
Andreas, you can't factor in how many were built.
Mm.
You don't know what you're going to come like in like if we're talking history and balancing, it's never going to be 20 Tigers versus 20 Shermans. In history, it was 20 Shermans versus 2 Tigers, but it's a video game. So there's going to be changes. There's going to be balances because you're not going to have X versus Y in this quantity.
People will realize you're never going to have balance. We'll always be having, for every patch, we'll be able to sit here and go, damn, that's so fucking OP. Why did they do that? Oh, they're stupid. But it's so easy for us to say, really. It is. It is so easy for us.
Yeah, let's
to
talk
There
about
could be
some
balance,
of these OP new
pros and
vehicles.
cons. Yeah, but let's talk about these OP vehicles.
How do you justify the American P-51 with 420mm Hispanos being a 3.0 battle rating, and the British premium version of it is a 5.0 battle rating? Someone justify that right now. Anybody?
Can I go to the toilet for this one?
So that's bullshit.
Let me pick up my red phone to Putin here. He has the answer.
How about the new British Sea Hurricane Mark 1C, 420mm Hispanos, 3.0 battle rating? You can get that into a 2.7 battle rating with the tear down system.
And here's where I'm going to agree with you.
Everything.
The P-51, what the fuck? Like,
They've added three
what the fuck?
new vehicles that are super OP. That's Sea Hurricane, the American P-51, and the J2M2. How the hell is the J2M2 riding a 3.3 tier 2, and the J2M3, a very small incremental improvement, is a tier 4 5.0?
A cannon change and ammo, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in tier 2. Really? Bullets?
Yeah.
That's the difference. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Like,
they're going to, obviously, those are going to get changed, right? Because people are going to seal club the shit out of them. They're going to get their data, and then they're going to up the battle ratings.
It's going to change. It's going to change.
But you would have
This is one
thought
of
they
those
would have
things-
gone.
like that
No, but you
P-51
would've-
one's a very daunting.
But I do wonder why the P-51 is, like, if you look at the tech tree, and let me, guys, show you on the stream what we're talking about here. Let me show you there.
I really dislike where that P-51 is.
Yeah, so it's for some reason before the P-47, and... Because, I mean, okay, I have a question for you guys who know all this shit. What is the difference with this new P-51 and the old P-51s?
The old P-51 used to be a 5.7 battle rating. They brought it down to 5.0 a couple patches ago.
No, I'm just
and then
wondering...
they introduced this one at 3.0.
No, I'm just wondering what's the difference. Like,
There's no
cannons.
difference.
Okay, so
The
there's
cannons.
They're the same.
Cannons. It has cannons versus 50
They're
cannons.
Hispanos, Mark IIs.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so it's canon. So it's pretty much the same P-51 as the other ones, but with a different armament. Or
No. It's got an Allison.
No. It's the Mustang Mark 1A.
Yeah, you
Just
got to compare it against
American.
The British premium there, Scream. Look at the British line, the premium tier 4 one. The Mark 1A. That's the one you're comparing.
This is before the P-51 got the whole brand new chassis and everything.
Because when I look at the tech tree, right, I'm trying to just figure out like the historical line of it. I know that they're not trying to balance it like historically precisely at that, but I just thought that the tech tree would be like you progress historically as they were made available, right, in real life. That's how I look at the tech tree.
Vaguely.
And
The battle rating system has been balanced based on armament and kind of speed.
I know how battle rating works. I'm just saying the tech tree, like the way they, like I start with a biplane, I get another biplane, I get like better planes. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, you know, it's kind of like a historical line, right?
There's just too many inconsistencies. How do you get the Focus 190 A5 with 620mm cannons?
So my
at a
question
6.0
is,
battle
my
rating?
question is, I'm agreeing here with you. I'm saying that it's so weird to me that why is it not grouped up with the other P-51s?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Now, of course, nobody here knows the answer, but that's just.
But that's what I would put it. If I was to change that tech tree right now, I would put the P-51 with the other P-51s,
right?
because we all know.
P-51 is historically when it was being developed, there was no specification for it. There was no call for it from the Air Force, so they had to for fighters. So they had to make it an attacker. So that's why they came up with the 1A version as a ground attacker in order to keep the P-51 program alive. So that's why it exists.
And it also had a different engine. I mean, this is a completely different
It's
engine.
the Allison engine.
Allison,
because the
yeah,
British
old
were
school
asking
Allison.
too much money for their royalties on their Merlins.
Yeah.
That's why the F-82 has 2 Allison engines.
Adam
That's
is
the
so happy.
Merlins.
Now, this is different for sim. I mean, obviously, in arcade, this is a little bit different. But when it comes to Simo, like we're talking, the premium British Mustang Mark 1A is at a 4.3, and the American variants is still lower, but it's at a 3.7.
Well,
So
see, that's not
0.6
bad. Why is
BR
arcade
change.
so shitty then?
I don't know. This patch, the BR changes and these new planes have been awesome. minus 2 of them that are kind of like, what the heck? Because well, obviously they, as everyone else knows, I mean, by now, machine guns do stuff now magically. Like, oh my gosh,
amazing,
machine guns!
right?
It's been great.
Everywhere.
So there's going to be definitely some woodwork here being done, but like that new BF 109B, that really early 109, that thing is right now tuned up against a lot of biplanes, and it just dominates the sky easily.
Does it in sim?
Oh yeah. Oh
Arcade's
yeah.
garbage.
A 109 against biplanes? Oh, you're
All you do
big
in arcade is
shit-eating
get
grin.
biplanes on your tail, and you can't shake them and die.
In
no,
our,
in
in,
109,
so
in
how big is,
109 it's shoot, climb. They can't follow, and you just sit there and do verticals on them. Just take your
You can't zoom
time.
a plane with 2792s in arcade. You're not going to kill anything.
And remember, like in Sim, we have carburation on those biplanes too, so they can't do negative maneuvers. Like then their engine starves and they stall. Right? There's that to factor in too. But then the other plane is that J2. That one's a little sketchy as shit because like that thing's a BR of 3.3. So yeah, I mean
almost 700 kilometers an hour for speed at tier 2 3.3.
it's going against that new Sea Hurricane, which is carbureted, and it flies like a lead weight. Flies like a lead weight, yes. But it does go against the 2B, and anybody who plays Sim mode knows the 2B can take out K4s, 109 G14s with ease. That tier 2 plane. It's ridiculous.
I mean, honestly, the easiest way to balance BR for arcade is just based on armament, period.
Well,
that's the deciding factor in most engagements in arcade is who has the heavier armament.
We've had that discussion. Sim is flight model and arcade is how big is your gun?
Yeah.
How many 20s and or 30s do you have strapped to the nose of your plane? And if you have more, then 90% of the time you win. So why is the P51 so low?
And Hispanos are almost universally agreed to be one of the best cannons in the game. The
so
Hispanos
we agree that they
high velocity,
that it's
crazy good.
Brain fuck how they put that P51 where they put it.
I just can't figure out what they were thinking.
Like, Gaijin, if you're listening to this part, you probably tuned out way before, but if you're still listening or watching the video on YouTube, then what the fuck? Please make an official post somewhere just explaining your thought process when you were putting that P51 where you put it, because it's so fucking out of place. All right, what's next topic?
But it's not a premium, so there's that to be defended. It's like it's not a premium, so you're not getting any. You're not paying.
Everybody's getting it though. Oh yeah, everybody's getting it. It's easy as frack. It's just 2 games or something to get it anyway.
It's weird how they don't. It's almost like they don't even cross-check the planes in the game when they do this. But eventually they do notice and they will tweak it a little bit.
This will obviously change. This is one of those because we've seen they change things like this before. So it's more like how did you guys get these through Q&A or whatever you call it, like the quality fucking process thing? How did that happen?
You want to talk about some of these undocumented changes?
I think we need to take a little break here by the looks of it. Let's go to someone else to wrap up or say something about this. Or
you guys take breaks on this thing?
Yeah.
About 10 minute and a half.
And
then
the half mark usually.
Yeah.
If we can. Or between the 2 topics, but we kind of don't really have 2 topics. It's kind of one
big topic.
One mushy squeegee thing. So now you get a break.
So there's gonna be a break of about 4 or 5 minutes. Not 10 to 15 like Adam. No, Adam, no, we're not doing 10, 15 minutes. This is not your dinner break. You eat dinner after.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, so am I.
Yeah, but you order food. Mine's in the oven.
I might
Isn't it
have. I might have ordered it even before.
Yeah, it is.
I ate before the show.
Why are you eating dinner like at 9 p.m.?
Because of this bastard.
Well.
Who won't let
on
me
topic,
go eat?
Ladies. Come on.
All right, so we're getting back after the break with Jingles Watch and more 1.49 topics. All right, we'll be back soon.
Undocumented Changes.
And we are back, guys. And we're pausing the music there. Hello and welcome back to War Talk numero 7, where we talk about the is it 1.49 or 1.70, guys?
1.70.1945.
What's the next patch going to be? 1.7.
1.7.
Dude, 2.leet.
Making
1337.
up numbers now. There's
Dude,
no
this
systems there.
patch has fucked my number system way out the scale. It's
So-
like it was every odd number increment.
Too many numbers. Too many.
All right, Max.
So it's not they're not that are because I was like, are they pulling a prank? Is it something I'm not seeing here? What is it? So it is 1.70. No,
Well, rumor has it that they're going to put it back to 1.49. So they're gonna put it back to the real number system, but when and where they'll do that, who knows? But I feel like it should go back to 1.49 because it's annoying and it's upsetting me.
You guys seen they're sponsoring a movie?
Yes.
And if you buy Golden Eagles using special links, it's like a Humble Bundle almost. You decide with sliders how much of the money you spend on buying Golden Eagles that goes straight to funding that movie.
I didn't know that. Do you get anything like with Humble Bundle?
Yeah.
with-
You get some special decals and stuff. Probably, I think by the time the movie comes out, I think. But it says that you're being rewarded with special decals related to the movie. So buy Golden Eagles. Help fund that. I like it. And you get to decide how much Gaijin gets and how much the movie makers get. So
movie makers
cool.
get all of it.
Yeah, that's what I would do, and I think it's pretty cool that Gaijin at least does that. Like they have that thing where you buy Golden Eagles, we give you Golden Eagles, everything goes to the movie. I like that. I think it's
It
cool.
would have been quite cool if they had done. What's that? What is
The
it?
trailer seemed cool. It seems to be it's a Russian movie. It seems to be going to be in Russian, but I don't know. It looked. I like the trailer. I might watch it actually, and once it's out. But I
Then
think
you
it's
need to do the English part. I'll do it.
sometime. No, but if they have subtitles, Anyway, that was that. Which end of the whole spectrum do you guys want to start at now?
Jingles Watch?
Oh, god damn it!
Wow, you need to wake up today, buddy.
Yeah, well, I've been up since 4 a.m. Fucking work. All right, you're right. Oh, nobody. I was like, nobody cares about Jingles Watch. It's not a thing. All right, Jingles Watch. Doo-doo. All right, guys. As always, we got Jingles Watch, and let me hide this thing and that thing. And I'm about to show them the picture packs. The picture of what are we watching? This is black and white. When was this taken?
I'm guessing World War II. Looks
How
like
old is
Jingles.
Jingles?
Jingles
The
isn't
world-
aged.
I thought he
Jingles
just
doesn't
retired.
age. Jingles is Jingles. Obviously, he looks a little grumpy. He's taken off in his brand new premium Hurricane. A brand new Hurricane for the Navy tree. Not very happy with it, but we'll
He's
see.
not happy with a premium plane? I would be so fucking stoked. Like, you probably won World War II with a premium plane.
I must say, his hair looks pretty dapper.
Looks like your hair on a Sunday. On a Sunday. Usually have good
Yeah.
hair on Sundays. All right. Well, guys, if you have any awesome pictures for Jingle Watch, send it to Metagamingtv at... No, shit. Jingleswatch at metagaming.tv.
Do we actually have an email address for that now?
Nope, we don't. Shh. You're
I'm
supposed
gonna
to
get
see people's...
Buttfist sending me.
So keep sending them to a brick wall. You're just lying. You gotta actually do it.
I will set up an email.
I'm not gonna lie, but Buttfist asks me now 2 or 3 times a week, where can I send these damn things to? Just making them.
Oh, he's sitting there making them? Oh, god dang it. Why are you not
Yeah.
collecting them?
Was that the kind of the point of this, so that people would start making them?
Maybe they was.
Andrea,
I don't
come on,
remember. I don't remember.
Oh,
when I
Yeah,
set up
Andrews,
this.
people are happy to do Wicked's job. That's
Yeah. We will have that email set up, guys. It will be set up when Adam takes pictures for a certain intro.
All right, on track, boys.
Alright. Oh god, that's so good. Alright.
So, Eisen, seeing as though you're pretty riled up about the next topic, why don't you start us off?
What are we talking about? Undocumented changes in the patch?
I
Yeah.
didn't see that
I've
anywhere.
never understood why a company would make changes and then not document them. Like they're trying to sneak something by you. Like why? Like for
Well, then-
example, on the F8F1 Bearcat, they changed the machine guns from M3s to M2s, effectively making the firepower of the Bearcat the exact same as the Tier 1 F2A3 Buffalo. Which-
If the Bearcat only had one.
No. The F2A3 has 4 M2
Dude,
Browns.
yeah, it's got 4.
Oh shit! I
With
was looking at
with
the wrong
actually
one.
a larger ammo count.
Wait, what? Are we
Yeah.
serious?
I'm
Yep.
absolutely
Yes.
serious.
Huh.
The Buffalo, the Bearcat used to have M3 50 cals,
Maybe
which
the
were
Bearcat
If
has
you
a better
don't know, the
engine.
M3 50
Which is
cals have
basically
a much higher
jet-
rate of fire,
jet
which
guns.
makes it for a much higher 1-second burst mass, which makes it much easier to get quick kills. And they took those away
and
If you
that
want
is-
to
for
reference-
for literally no reason, and they told nobody.
Yeah.
But
But if
is-
you want no reference, Andreas, an M3 is also the same gun that's on the F-80C jet.
All right. So obviously, there will be armaments on planes that they use even on later, planes they built later during the war, right?
That's not what we're getting at. We're getting at is that they're changing it without telling anybody
All right.
Yeah, like-
themselves.
Yeah, that sucks.
And the people who pay attention to these things.
That was in the patch
the
notes, says
people-
Robic. Can you link
the
us that, Robic?
people that actually read the patch notes, people that care about these things, are not being told. That's the weird part about it. That's what we're trying to get at.
Yeah,
Robic
another
is saying
example of that
it was
is
in the patch
the
notes.
Griffin Spitfires, all
gonna go
4 of them, used to have an option under modifications for 150 octane fuel, which gives you an extra 122 horsepower, 11 kilometers to max speed, and a 3.3 meters per second to the climb rate. That's a pretty decent upgrade. All 4 of the Griffins used to have that in their modification tree, and they took them away.
Yep. Now we just have the old injection sitting there, and there's no octanes.
Why? For no reason. You're telling me that the LF Mark 9 has access to 150 octane fuel, but the Griffins didn't? Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter if we're not angry that if another good example of armaments that's changed. Does anyone remember the Broken Fighter that used to have the 50 cals? It used to, instead of four 7.7s, it had 4 50 cals and 4 20s, and then they changed it to have 4 20s and 4 7.7s, and then added the Australian one, which was 4 20s and 2 50 cals. I mean, that was historically inaccurate and wrong, and they changed it. But it's
I mean,
I
very
understand
fact-
that having
I
M2s
understand,
on
yeah.
the Bearcats was
I
historically
understand them
accurate.
exactly. Like they're changing it to be more accurate. They're fixing their little mistakes.
But if they're
but
going to change that, they got to lower the battle rating.
They gotta.
They've made
Yes,
it worse.
they have to. Exactly. Well, I mean, with the Griffins, I don't care. Keep them high in sim mode. They need to be high, in my opinion. They're freaking crazy. But yes, they need to. It's not just delete, not tell anybody. Like, okay, sorry, our bad. And delete. No, you have to update people on these things. Like, who's the guy that's in
Yeah, for
charge
the
of like all the
Griffins, someone
changes?
could have literally spent like 230 golden eagles buying that octane fuel, and then they took it away. I guarantee they didn't give them 230 golden eagles back.
You
All right,
make sure-
question. So, no, that's not it. It says fix. It says fix the.
Yeah.
It says.
Yeah, this is what the patch note says. Fix the selection of offensive weapons for the F8F1.
Yeah, that's not it.
Now that is it. That is it. However,
Very vague.
that does not specify what it is. That could
Yeah.
be anything. That could be bomb load.
And
that could be
but
choices
listen.
of ammunition.
Hey Tom, what did you do today? I just moved some shit around.
All right, so hey, listen, you know what that's under? That's under in the patch notes they put that under ammunition. That doesn't
Yeah.
change the type of the machine gun.
No.
But it does say fix the selection of offensive weapons, and I'm looking at they didn't do anything new to the ammunition. Like this is what they mean. So they added in the patch notes, but they made it like here's the problem. Like I honestly feel this is a language translation issue because they have some poor as fuck translating these patch notes from Russian to English, and yeah.
Well, if they're charging $50 for a Calliope, I'm pretty sure they can afford a guy to do some translations. Like, just get a PR guy to do those dev blog notes and kind of take the time to go through them for sure. But when you're developing a game, when you're working with a bunch of crap ton of people, there's always cloud documents. There's always things that everybody can see on some type of server where they put in what they did.
Yeah.
There's got to be a guy in there that's like just taking that information, putting it in a list, and saying, "Here you go. Here's the patch note front page thing. Here's a link to what exactly the hell we did down here." So the people that want to see the changes of their particular favorite planes know what's going on.
Would it be easier to group the changes by model and plane? Like, here's all the changes to this particular model, and here's this to this model. Like, if there are several, because they did at least 2 changes to the Bearcat.
I mean, we're talking about just the changes of saying we changed the ammunition of the F8 F1B to we changed the F8 F1B M3 machine gun to an M2.
Specify.
Just the different wording and just that is all the difference. Obviously, you change it from just saying we changed ammo compared to we actually did this to this. You don't have to make it long. It doesn't be stretched out. It's just the proper wording is all it is, so that it's just not vague. It's actually like just we did this. We did X to Y.
From what people are saying in chat, though, the change, even though, of course, they did it, it was poorly announced, but it is historically accurate. It did happen too.
Irrelevant.
We were just saying this, Andrew.
Yeah,
like
we
5
just
minutes
said
ago.
Okay, sorry.
It doesn't matter if it.
I was
like,
reading the patch and I was trying to find it. Probably.
I'm fine with them making it more historically accurate, but you have to adjust the battle rating because you just made the plane weaker.
Right, with the Beaufighter Mark 10, they used to have 650 cals strapped to the front of it. But then the Mark 21, which is the actual one which had 50 cals, only has 4 of them. So there was a long time where people were like, there wasn't a Beaufighter with 650 cals, they only had 4. Why are you giving us 650 cals? This is wrong. And then they changed it, and then they've added another one. Like, if there was a Bearcat with M3 somewhere, then they could add that. That's not the problem. The problem is the wording that they've used. Like, it'd be like in League of Legends where they just say we've reduced the health of a specific character and or hero. It's like that's what did you reduce it to?
The bottom line is they need to get better at their documentation.
Yes,
they have a history of undocumented changes, and people are listing them in the chat right now. Like when they changed the cannons on the 109F to 15mm and told nobody.
Do we have any other keep mentioning like other
It
examples?
took the dive brakes away from the Ju-87 D5, even though people historically proved that it had them.
That D5 has been just like the old time of like eggs are good for you, eggs are bad for you fucking argument across the board here. One is like, oh yeah, wait, it didn't have air brakes. Oh wait, it's the attacker. Yeah, it did. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. They've added like it's just there's like no consensus. There's no consensus. There's no clarity. It's just so strange.
And the taking away the 115 octane fuel, what's the historical basis for that?
Yeah, I can't see that anywhere on unless we haven't noticed it for a while.
I think they ran out of
the
that
Griffin
fuel at the end of the war or something like that. They had it earlier, but we ran out.
We had some, yeah. We used to have
it. It's 1945 now. It's patch 1.945. We ran out of the octane. You must remove it from the game due to patch reasons.
Like,
1946.
I'd have to look
we have
at
to destroy the entire German tree. It's just like, yeah.
Where do you see that that octane thing? Was that on modification?
Yeah, it was on the Spitfire.
Look at the Spitfire LF Mark 9 right before the Griffins, and you'll see it in the bottom left corner of the modification tree. You'll see 115 octane fuel, and you hover over it, and you can see it's a pretty significant performance boost. And they used to have it on all 4 of the Griffins.
Does it need it though? Does the Griffin need it? Because at the moment, without it, I've got it fully upgraded. The Mark.
It had it, and they took it away without saying anything for no
reason.
reason.
We're talking about history.
I know, but maybe instead of having it as an upgrade, maybe it's a standard. Like it now comes with it relevant. So if it was unupgraded, it would have the high octane fuel. So the standard. So maybe it's built into it. So rather than having the fuel as being a thing, because I mean that's kind of weird having different types of fuel going into the.
Is that true, Titan? They added 115 octane to the Russian premium Spitfire.
No way.
That's true. If they took it away.
I own it. I'll tell you right now.
I can't look.
It's on there. I'm gonna laugh.
I got it.
What about the American
one? There it is. Right there.
Really?
Wait, which one? Which one?
Oh yeah, the
Mark 9
American one has it. The American one has it.
That's not a Griffin. That's a Mark 9.
Yeah, that's.
Where's the go back over to British. Go to the Mark 9.
Where's the?
Oh, you're talking about
sorry. The not the Mark 9. Sorry, the Mark 16.
Okay.
F Mark 16, the docked wing one, that does have high octane. But yeah, their Mark 9, the British Mark 9, does not have a high octane.
I'm inclined to think like Adam is still
now,
that maybe.
Hold on. There's one more to go. Because there's a shit ton of Mark 9s in this game. American LF Mark 9. High octane premium.
Yeah.
But that's not a Griffin then, is it? So
yeah, I said that one. That wasn't a Griffin, and you shouted at me.
Keep up, buddy. Keep up.
What the hell?
I know at this now I know I'm echoing something he said, but I felt like it was necessary because you were again saying I'm yeah, but I was gonna say that just like Adam said, maybe they added that to the base. Like maybe it wasn't supposed to be a modification. Maybe they feel like that's something Griffin had to begin with. Like nothing. Yeah. Maybe that it's not supposed to be a modification.
So maybe at the beginning of the war,
even though it should be fucking documented.
Right, no, I agree, but maybe at the beginning, maybe they weren't using high octane fuel for the Spitfire Mark 9, and then later on they were like, yeah, that's used high. Then the Griffin just got it anyways because they were using it for the Mark 9. That's not necessarily really an upgrade if you're already using it. Like,
what would they be whether the plane has it or not, or whether the performance is affected or not. The number one thing that bothers me is that people could have spent real, actual dollars buying it, and then they took it away without saying anything. That'd be like taking away a premium plane that someone bought.
Oh, you're actually right.
By the way, we removed this. Anybody who paid Golden Eagles, you're going to be reimbursed if they just do that. You know what I mean?
That's a good thread on the forums. Did those who spent money on that modification get their money reimbursed?
Normally how it works, particularly if they like I can guarantee the Panther once the Leopard comes in, it will have a lower research cost. It's only because it's the last one of its kind. Normally, if you've researched something and they take something away, they normally give you I know it's not perfect, but they normally give you the research points for it. So if that Panther now goes down in research points, I will get it for free, or whatever. They'll add the research.
But no
points
one will know if they did that because it was undocumented.
True, but
that is true. That is how they've done it.
But if they've taken away the high octane, they've probably, if you haven't fully researched it, they'll give you that research into another module. So you might get another module for free instead. If you fully upgraded it, that's the problem. Like if you spaded it, then you're going to have the problem because then you've got something for nothing. But if you haven't spaded it, then they normally give you the RP for that module.
The topic, guys, is that we don't like it when you change something in the game and you don't put that in your patch notes in clear written text that, hey, we removed this modification, hey, we changed this. There's changes to that seem to have happened in the patch which were not documented publicly. That's
the whole point of patch notes. The people that care about what's going on in the game, they go to the patch notes. Usually you should have the changes, all of them, in the patch notes.
Yeah, particularly with something where you
doesn't it make sense, Gaijin? Again, if you're listening, that this might not be the most funniest podcast for you guys to watch, but doesn't it make sense that you want your customers to know what you're changing? Every single they paid money for that modification and you removed it. Where's the information about what happened with that?
And I mean, I can understand that on the patch notes they haven't put. Like, with the P-47, they've changed the flight model according to the data sheet. But they've at least said, here is the data sheet. Like, here is the information. They've put a link somewhere else to that information. They haven't put it on there, but they've said, here it is. Like, it's frustrating reading it and going, they've updated something, but they haven't then said.
My source of anything that happens to planes, what's going to happen to planes, has never been really much the patch notes. The patch notes have been mostly, it's more of a marketing information thing. If we've added this, we've done that, spend more money on these things, awesome, please. It never felt like it was part of the development iterations. Where I've been getting my information for when it comes to plane changes is the lesser respond forum thread. Very seldomly advertised. It's on Reddit every now and then. Some guy will put lesser responds. And that is the community asking / just telling this one developer of what they would like to see. When can we expect this? When are you doing that? Hey, by the way, this plane didn't really have this. And they'll attach a bunch of documents to back up their claim. And this lesser guy he responds back to like pretty much every one of them. And I'll go through the topics. And I'll say, hey, by the way, this plane didn't have this. He's like, oh, cool. We'll look into, we'll advise. And that's where I get my information from instead of the patch notes, because the patch notes don't tell you anything shit. They tell you what's coming and what cool things are happening, but they'll tell you about the tweaks, where things that you're loving, you're passionate about, certain planes or certain tanks, when they decide to like take something away or add it, or they don't tell you about that. This lesser respond thing does, because he'll tell you, oh, we're doing that. Yeah, we're doing this. Yes, we're doing that. And then I just go to him instead. So I'd rather go to the lesser notes than the actual
Gaijin shouldn't look at this as us bitching. This is look at it this way. We're invested in this game. We care about this game. We want to know what changes are being made in this game.
None of this podcast, I think, is quitting War Thunder anytime soon.
Oh no.
As far as I know.
I got 1,000 hours of entertainment in this game. I'm going to get another 1,000 out of it.
We wouldn't be doing a podcast if we didn't care about the game.
That's so true.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah. So that's true.
But as a community, we're trying to voice our dislike of a lack of information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And information is always.
We wouldn't be talking about this if they would have put everything they changed in the patch notes. Like, and if we had all the information in the patch notes about every change, the removing of the octane fuel mod in Griffin Spitfires, if that was in the patch notes, we would not be discussing this, for example. Like, it's one of those things. Like, just be what's the word?
Honest.
Nah, I was looking for another one. Transparent in what you change, because when you don't, like, in the patch notes where changes go, right? If you don't write every single change you do, and I'm not talking about maybe squishing a bug somewhere. I'm just talking about like changes to the things we play, to the things we do, to the things we pay money for, Golden Eagles, right? Modifications, airplanes, everything. Like anything you change that has any monetization tied to it, and just anything gameplay mechanic-wise. When you don't post that in the patch notes, it looks like you're hiding it. It makes it look like you don't want us to know. And that will drive away more players than you will gain. Mm-hmm. Perhaps not in, the game might still grow, but it will, the positive effect of just being transparent is much, much greater.
There's a certain amount of transparency that should be there. Obviously, the transparency should happen when it comes to things that already exist and you're altering, because we're already enjoying that content. I understand when you want to hide something from us that's coming up because you want that hype, you want that brand new surprise feel to it, like a Calliope is a great example of something that's like, whoa, where'd that
that wasn't even on the dev server.
That type of thing where you hide that, I understand that. That's just marketing. I mean, that's just like, basically wrapping your presents before getting them out for Christmas, right? I mean, like that's cool. I get that. Like, I understand that part. But when you're doing things and altering things that we're already enjoying, and you decide to change them on us, like, oh, by the way, I just took your Transformer toy and I painted him blue. Why?
They can have a marketing version of the patch notes on their webpage, and then a link at the bottom for detailed patch notes for people to click on that has everything.
Oh, yeah. Extended patch notes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Basic patch notes, show the fluff, show the stuff you've added, and things like that, the big items. And obviously,
I even
you
prefer
want that detailed section. For further notes, further discussion, click here. Yeah. And then, boom, you got the big list. For people that actually want to go with that.
But they're even like there kind of is two different patch notey sort of things. Like all the fluff is like if you look on War Thunder's website, like it even has 1.70.1945, and it shows you all the fluff. It says Majors of Victory. It shows you the 3 new maps. Shows you the Griffins and the new planes.
Video, right?
No, I'm not talking about. Well, no, but read that. Look, our link is in Twitch. That's the one that they have on their front page. That's the one they show on the front page. Then if you scroll down and you scroll down, it says to view all of the patch notes. Sort of go like to read all of them. Be sure to check out the full update notes on our website. All right, and then here's that link. So they already
Where
do
is that?
This has been updated.
But the problem.
There's the other one which shows everything from datasheet updates to bug fixes.
Because give me a second. You didn't scroll far enough. This is how bad they are with the with their news flood on their website. Again, it's because translation. Like, I mean, just look at this. Like, hey, we want to make people aware of news articles on our website, so we decided to post 1, 2, 3, 4 news articles 2nd May, and 4 news articles 1st May. And and it's this thing where they just push all these news articles in Russian to the translators, and they translate them. And as soon as they translated them, post. There's no PR guy, trying to be smart about how they promote their stuff. They're just like, well, we're just gonna what did you call it, Pax? Like shotgun approach, like. Boom! Hey, here we go. Something will stick. We'll just throw all the information out at once, and maybe half of it.
Well, they didn't throw it out at once. They've iterated on this. There's a lot of new stuff in this patch now. I mean, in this section of the 1.701945, they've added to this. Like this isn't what it was on day one.
Oh yeah, but Adam is right though.
Like they have now all these data spec sheets. Like this wasn't there. Like this is all like this has been extended. It's like they've iterated on it.
Oh, okay.
Cool, I guess. It's just weird to have. I mean, okay, maybe they need the time to do it. I mean, it's kind of weird how they don't have the notes before the patch. They do the patch and then they wait a day. Oh, here's some notes.
Why? Yeah. Why isn't there a synchronous kind of drop?
Exactly.
Like, oh, your dude's finished translating. Boom, boom.
I'm happy that they did this. This is awesome. Like this is way more in depth. It's weird yet though. I mean, okay, whatever. I mean, there might be a different system of things they do, but I
disagree with it being weird because a lot of MOBAs do it. A lot of MOBAs sort of do here's all the cool fluff, like, oh, new champion, oh, slightly different change or whatever, and then they'll do here's the slight edit to attack damage, here's the tweak to bug, like, here's that spawn timer difference. Like, then they'll do it on the massive. So I have to say that this is something that a lot of other games do too.
Because I really don't like reading every single line of the extended patch.
I don't.
I just want to see the meaty stuff.
Yeah, like, again, for Simulator it'll be different. Like you want to know those flight model differences. You want to know like the slight tweaks and things. But for somebody using arcade, like I just want to know what the next big thing is. I want to know that the Calliope OP is the new line of Spitfires.
To be in their defense, you're taking the notes that the developers are doing, the guys making the game and their little iterations and changes. Then you're moving that over to translators. Then you're moving that over to web developers to update the website. These do take time. I guess there's something we can definitely, I guess, put in their defense for them, obviously because they are a massively multi-international game and they have a whole bunch of different websites. I mean, they just opened up 2 new websites. For what countries?
But a lot of other companies do it, and you say that synchronization, can be difficult, but they did it. Like if you watch their latest YouTube video on that thing about that movie they're making, they were talking about synchronization for that new advert. They were like, oh, voice actors had to be sorted and translators had to be sorted. We all had to do that all in these very perfect synchronous ways. So they've got, I know it's, they're not identical, but they talk about synchronicity. So why can't they have 2 dudes going, here are the patch notes, translator, some dudes making the website? Is it that difficult to then copy and paste that code onto the next website?
It wouldn't be that difficult if they had it all done, even if they all didn't get done at once, and then they decided just to hold back until everything was done and then release it in a big bang. Because and technically they could do that and we wouldn't know the wiser, because obviously they hype with all the stuff coming up, but they don't give a release date of the patch. Just all of a sudden we'll get, by the way, server maintenance tonight. That's what we get. We don't get 1.49 is coming out tomorrow. We get the game will be down for 2 hours this Thursday.
Yeah, it's gonna be server, and everybody knows.
Yeah, you go to Reddit and it says hype, and you click it, it's server maintenance news. That's Gaijin's way of telling us. I mean, we don't really get the date. We just get that little heads up there near the end. But I mean, if they wanted to get that continuity across the board, there's nothing to stop them from just holding the patch for a day and just getting everything laid out, nice and detailed. All right, 3, 2, 1, live. You know what I mean? But whatever. I mean, that's, I guess, what they decided to do.
I mean, for me, it's not that, like, I quite like the whole, like, I quite like the server maintenance thing. It's now become quite a good joke, a running joke, if you will, sort of. But server maintenance, is it going to be the new patch? Is it not? But you just like that sort of hype. You have hopes of it being it, but you can't confirm it. But you just like the hype of it. So I quite like the server maintenance, and then you can also predict like. It's like I called it. If you look at last week's War Thunder talk, I did say it would either be this week or next week, the patch from that date, because it was on the dev server. So once it kind of goes live on the dev server, you can also say it's 1 or 2 weeks before it kind of goes live. The tanks was a little different, but most patches, when they go live on the dev server, it's 1 or 2 weeks after. So you kind of get that kind of feeling. It's, as you said, it's kind of the whole patch notes and things all coming out kind of at once, and you kind of get information after, like when they were doing that giveaway for the Facebook thing, the 4,000 followers or whatever. The Russian guys were already doing that way before the British guys were, which was kind of frustrating. Or any other nation, like all the Russians had kind of filled out the form and kind of gone with it. We were kind of left out until much later.
Mike Storm makes a good point. The way the Gaijin's been doing these patches and stuff like that, it feels a lot like a small developer type of progress. The way that they do the releases and stuff.
I wonder how many
but then on the flip side,
have.
they go to like these big Gamescoms and they roll up a tank.
Dude, yeah, at Gamescom they had a
you know,
freaking,
it's just like
yeah, not just a tank,
we're
an
gonna put some
airplane
duct
too.
tape over there, but then check out that fucking T-34 behind us. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, the patch notes aren't important, but we got a tank. What do you think about the tank, guys?
Yeah,
tank's pretty sweet.
It's huge.
I mean, the size at Gamescom, the size of their booth was very big. It cost money. Yeah, I said.
It would be nice if they had a more detailed roadmap for what they're planning and when it's coming, because they always discuss things they're working on or things they're going to put into the game, but you have no idea when they're going to come. They've been talking about revamping the matchmaking system for like a year at least, and nothing.
Upcoming, 2 words or two lines.
TM.
Yeah,
soon. Yeah, soon TM.
What's their like little dev blog thing here? There was a roadmap here. I love the detail we get in here. In the future, World War mode, bomber cockpits.
Yeah, it's
such a
it's
and
so
it's like
awful.
in the future, and it's been there for how long?
The future.
All right, this I'm going to have to defend War Thunder and say even League of Legends, something that's massive and throws shit tons of money at, even they don't have perfect sort of roadmaps. They've got characters that are really old and need updating. Yet even they don't have like it'll be done soon. We're gonna update these guys soon. Like it's not. There's no date for it.
Soon
like,
for them is a year at least.
Sounds
right,
like our
so-
game with the pilot player models versus the tank player models.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult to say. You know, I would have thought that a lot more bomber cockpits would have been in the game by now, and they haven't. So even that is kind of weird to me. And I haven't been here as long as you have, Pax. So I would have liked to see those. So
in my mode, it's definitely you know. But
yeah, but it's still
whatever.
cool to see. Like it's so cool to see them. Like I was quite excited to see the
obviously the money's not in
Cannonburst.
sim mode, so it's not a priority. I mean, cockpits are just a niche thing. I
They
mean,
take
like
sim mode out of the game.
you're basically Superman. But I mean, I remember when they hinted at cockpits a year ago, more than a year ago. They showed a cockpit. They showed a cockpit of like the B-17 or something, or B-25, 24. I don't know, one of the Bs. It was you can Google this shit. It was a forum topic a long ass time ago. Crickets since then. And now we got a couple bomber cockpits for the ones that are not the heavy boys. They're more like simplistic cockpits, or where it's a guy by himself in like a standard cockpit, just a big plane with bombs, right? IL-28.
Yeah, like the
Canberra, yeah, exactly. So those ones are relatively easy to do. I mean, like, imagine doing a B-17 and like a guy, maybe a track IR, you turn your head over to the right and look down, and you're looking down the hallway of a B-17 with guys in the back and bombs, and that's a lot of shit on your screen, right? Because you can move around the cockpit. It's not just rotate on. You can actually lean and shit. So there's things like that to consider too. But at the end of it all, where's the majority of the players?
arcade. How many people in
When you're
arcade
in
probably use
arcade,
cockpits?
all right, exactly. Is that a priority right now? Are there other things they can work on that are more critical to the mass populace of the game? Yes.
My question is, have you seen that mod for War Thunder? Well, it's not really a mod. It's bomber
Downloaded them.
cockpits.
Download them. I got them.
You've seen them.
Yeah, I have them.
So So
they're garbage, but
they got
I mean,
no, they're low
duct tape.
res. But
They're duct tape. They're there, and I got them for fun. But I'm not going to be doing the bomber things anyways until they do other things, because the cockpits is for similar. It's kind of cool to see them coming, obviously, because you want to have that immersion and you do want to have those window parameters, because right now you can do like no plane in history. You can like just turn around and just see behind you, like and below you. Like, you know, you can't see the plane below your crotch ever, but that's that right now. That's what it is right now. But even then, when they add them, what's to stop someone from just going into third person of the turret gun mode anyways? It's almost redundant to do it, because you can still click to gun mode and look around the plane anyways.
So could it be, you know, a really bad reason, a reason that isn't a reason, but a reason nonetheless, until they find a way so that, like you said, being able to just sort of jump in the gunner view and use gunners? Do you think they're maybe waiting for a way to kind of balance that kind of view?
I think there's a lot more they have to chew off. I mean, like, obviously the gunner turret, the system, it's perfect for arcade, it's perfect for RB, because you're already dealing in the third person's perspective. You're not changing anything. You're just changing the direction of where the turret, the camera is pointing, right?
Yep.
Now you're just working with the back gun, right? I mean, like in Sim, it's a little different. You're flying it, and then when you're in a multi-crew plane, and you're switching from yourself as the pilot in the front to a third person out of the plane to a gunner. It kind of destroys the dynamic of where situational awareness is a key factor in the game. In certain planes, you don't have that great situational awareness. Other planes you do. Like example, Focke-Wulf. You can see around you absolutely easily. Or locating Hurricane, or an IL-2. An IL-2 feels like you're in a cardboard box. Like, you can't even see the sides of you. Like this, like you got blind spots here and all the way around back. You can't see shit. But that's what it was like in the plane. And then all of a sudden, this plane that did have limitations like that, and all of a sudden you just click a button and you're outside the plane. But no other planes can do that besides the ones with gunners. Why? It's just a simple way of basically taking a system that they have in different game modes and copying it over to something else. Easy work, right? I mean, you're not changing much. It's the same type of system, but it doesn't work in a game mode that makes you have to worry about situational awareness. And when you have planes that have absolutely no problem with situational awareness, bombers, then yeah, cool, put the cockpit limit in it, but you're not fixing the problem when you can still go third person anyways. So it's cool to see that they're coming. I mean, it's going to be a nice little thing. It might make you want to fly bombers, and if you're one of those guys who will refuse to use gunners, like go to gunner mode, then cool, you're going to have a good time, right? But it's not really fixing an issue until you fix the gunners. Personal opinion.
Yeah, one of the changes I was really looking forward to in this patch that they've talked about quite a bit was reduction of the battle rating spread in arcade to 0.7 from 1.3, and that didn't make it into the patch. And I have no idea when it's going to come. No, they don't explain anything. That's what we're talking about this.
You see, they could do that in arcade because they have enough people in the queue that you won't have queue problems.
And it would be a huge improvement to the quality of life for arcade players, not getting curb stomped by Seal Calliope planes.
Like in Sim mode, we have to kind of deal with that wide BR spread. We have to, because there's not a lot of us that keeps the queue down. But in your game mode, you have no problem getting people into a game. I mean, the max you wait is what, 10 seconds maybe max.
Unless you're doing jets, but unless you're doing jets. But for the majority of things, sorry, I just wanted to really nitpick, but for the majority of things, I agree. Like a 0.7 BR for tanks, for planes, would be phenomenal in arcade. Like as Eisen said, you would take away the seal clubbiness. You could even then have biplanes on their own because they would be 1.0, and there is not a lot of planes that are 1.7 and 1.3. It's either 1.0 or 2.0. So you would eliminate that problem. You would then even eliminate Korean jets going versus props, because they would be 0.7, so you'd even have a reduction of that. Not a lot, but a lot of reduction of that. So you'd have Korean jets on their own, biplanes on their own, and then everything in between would just sit on its own and have a nice time. You'd see a lot less 5.7 tanks going up against you'd have a lot less 6.0 tanks going up against 7.0 tanks, and vice versa with planes. Quality of life, as I said, would be a lot higher for arcade players. And
this game could almost use 6 ranks. I mean, you could almost have Korea just 6. Like just cut that off. Keep World War II jets kind of at the top there with the really high performance monoplanes props. Sorry, and then have the Korean jets just by themselves. You could almost do that, but of course there's not enough planes to do that, unfortunately.
But
otherwise,
I
Japan's
didn't know,
just sitting there with like a saber.
I didn't know that that 0.7 spread was supposed to be in this patch, though.
I'm not saying it was supposed to be in
wasn't
this patch.
official,
I'm saying
but it has been talked about.
Well, we were
It's
talking
been
about
talked about as
priorities,
coming.
and it's strange that it wasn't coming along with this big patch. This was more of a content drop. It felt more like a parcel drop of look at all these pretty toys. It didn't feel so much like check out these core elements we're doing.
Because I feel if I want to put that into the category of battle rating changes, which because again I feel here's how I feel historically it's been, right. We've been getting the patches like the one we just got, which I feel is like, here's content, and you're like, what happened to the balance? And it's like, well, we did not do balance here, we just threw content at you, right? And then they will, between those patches, then will they start looking at the balance and battle rating stuff, and we'll be getting those in minor patches now afterwards. That's how it feels like it's been going usually. I don't know. That's just a gut feeling I have. I feel like my memory might not be correct. But
I'd like to see arcade planes have the same system that arcade tanks has, where you can't downrank your lineup by 0.3, because that opens up so many possibilities in arcade planes where one super OP plane could face planes that it just
what the
silk
hell
all
is
day
that?
long. I don't understand why that's in the game.
You know what? That you're absolutely right. And to make things worse about that is now you can do the backup. You can still cover that with a backup system because you can do backups for that plane. So now you can get the backups
with 4 Hispanos in a 2.7 lineup and put a
Exactly.
bunch of backups of it and just curb stomp all day long.
Do you know you can actually
nailed it out of the park, Eisen.
You can actually force that to happen by just having one plane in your lineup. If you just have one plane in your lineup, doesn't matter what it is, it will go down a tier, a battle rating system. So if it was a 3.0, it will go instantly down to 2. You only have one plane, but if you have a backup plane, you have 2 of them. But it will instantly drop it by battle rating. So the P-51, 2.7 if it's on its own. The Spitfire, the American Spitfire, goes from 5.3 to 5.0, which might not seem like a lot, but when you're thinking about Yak 9 UTs, which are bloody cannons all over the place, and TAs and jets, that's a massive, huge difference.
Yeah, the nature of player bases in a game like this is everyone's going to look for any possible advantage they can get over their opponents. And if you put a system like this in where it's possible for someone to have an OP plane and multiple copies of it, they're going to exploit it. There's whole clans out there that do nothing but play 2.3 Russians and curb stomp biplanes all day long.
It's the same thing in RB. You have people who play nothing but like the CL-13 Sabres. They'll do nothing but that. You're going to find people that are one-trick ponies. They'll find something that just... Its BR and its performance just excels everything in it, and they will stick to it. And that's it. They just
if you ever
can't.
find
They can't
themselves
spread.
In a fair fight, they don't do quite as well.
They get mad.
That's people who like the feeling of winning and being the best, and they will find every way to do that.
Can I say something I do like about this patch?
Yeah, please do, because
emergency landings. I absolutely love how I can absolutely throw any plane onto the ground and it won't set on fire. I have to say that is so happy. That makes me so happy.
I landed a Firefly yesterday with no tail just by crashing it into the runway.
but
that was
it didn't set on fire. But it didn't set on fire because emergency landings are now a thing, and I think that's awesome. Like, I love that. I love being able to slam dunk a plane like an Arado.
The physics changes have been really nice.
So the whole I was gonna ask you guys about that, the new damage system then, like overall, what do you guys think?
That is off the scale in arcade. Like, that might be thumbs up in sim, but that is off the scale in arcade. You've got 7.7s that are now doing more damage than 30mm cannons.
Oh,
it's pretty absurd. The British
so what did they change exactly? Like, how did they do that? Like, how what?
This feels like 1.27, 1.30 again. The Hurricane with
just
8
do damage. You can slice wings off. It's like shooting lasers.
like they've introduced this new damage model that makes everything more complex, even more so than it was before, where every little thing gets modeled from, like, if you hit O now in the air, you can see what's been damaged, and that's great. It's cool. It's a cool little gimmicky thing. Yeah. But now you've got that they introduced that at the same time as introducing 7.7 buff damage. Like they kind of went.
It's a mix of a few things there, Adam. Like it's what the plane's made of.
Yep.
What type of ammo armament you have onto it.
Yep.
Right. So you have to factor onto like AP, pierces, incendiary.
So the damage system has gone a lot more complex and advanced.
It models bullets piercing skin and then other bullets going through that hole.
But like an armor piercing is going to take out components. A fragmentation is going to take out like line cables. An incendiary is going to light shit on fire.
Incendiary anymore. You can actually run armor piercing on your machine guns and have actual damage being done.
Yeah, it's no longer
used to be they just passed right
through
the plane and did nothing.
Yeah. Before it was if you're not German, pick something that lights you on fire. If you're German, pick the grenade launcher mine shells. I mean, like that's what it was.
That was it.
But now you can justify different ammo belts depending on what you are. If you're like in like a machine gun thing and you want to take out bombers quickly, use AP rounds and destroy their engines.
But has it really done the game worse?
No.
Better.
Well, it kills a lot easier with the
it kills way easier.
I need to jump in and play
machine guns used to be completely useless. Remember, without anything, if you didn't have cannons on your plane, you weren't killing anything.
Yeah, before it was you would just get the best. You would get the new 20s, the new 7s, and just pick the best belt because you just knew that was the best belt. Now the belts can be more utilized to a certain type of. The choice will actually be like, I'm going to be better at this and worse at that. You can feel the dynamic of the actual ammo types now. The ammo types have a purpose instead of just getting off default and getting to the anti-air rounds.
So
now you actually
But what I was saying with the change, they had been mentioning it for a while, is that 7.7s were being the damage of them was being edited. So cannons have also obviously seen a slight tweak because, as you said, different ammo belts now do different damage variations. Like, as you said, armor piercing goes right through and damages engines. Incendiary sets things on fire. But at the same time, they were discussing how a lot of people were like 7.7s don't do any damage. Like, hurricanes don't do anything. What's the point of flying them? But now they were like, oh well, we'll give maybe not a damage boost, but they were editing how they did damage. And obviously, they've implemented this complete change. Well, not a complete change, but more advanced damage model of planes. It's kind of coincided kind of at a weird time. Like maybe if they had just implemented the sheer damage change, 7.7s wouldn't be going around sort of shredding things like chainsaws. Like it's kind of like you see a spray of 7.7s, you're pretty much dead. Like you see a spray of 20s, like you're still dead, but it's kind of a weird effect.
Like before this patch, you wouldn't particularly in my way, you wouldn't dream of taking up like a hurricane or an early typhoon because. You're shooting lead that just sticks to the outside of it. You're basically
you're giving them more. You're giving them more armor than you're taking away.
You're killing them by filling them with so much lead that just get heavy and fall out of the sky. You're not actually like destroying them. Yeah. It's just. But now, it's no longer if you're in a plane with machine guns and 20s, you run out of 20s, you go and rearm. Now it's like I still have a fucking deadly gun with me, machine guns. You still have options now. It's completely changed.
One gun they didn't touch though is the Italian 12.7s. They're still shooting cooked pasta. They don't do anything.
Yeah,
that's still a spaghetti flame.
Nice. I don't mind though. In my actually no, that's not. I mean no, the 12.7 Berettas are actually not that bad. Not that bad. They're still weak, but I mean the flight model is what matters to me the most, and that 202 still is like a rocket at tier 1. Just crazy.
All right. What do you think of the tournaments?
What do you mean? Are we talking tournaments, or are we talking about this tank tournament that's happening right now that I had no idea about? It's made me very salty.
Tournaments in general, they're doing that token system now where you can for lions buy a certain amount of lives.
I haven't even understood. Okay, so I can't enter the tournaments here in the events tab without having tickets?
That's that new system's not implemented yet. Right now, it's just events. It's like a tournament event, and then there's a leaderboard. So just grind the leaderboard, right?
Okay. Because I thought it was in because from what I read, right, they were introducing this ticket system where you either buy or earn tickets to enter tournaments in the game.
And if they've implemented, I must have a shit ton of tickets.
I'm just,
'Cause-
no, well, it's probably not implemented yet then,
I don't
as you
think
say.
so.
But I really fucking dislike that. Like, I really don't like, because it's, you know, I'm not sure how much we talked about it previously. Maybe we need to make that as a really major topic, like discuss competitive gameplay and stuff like that. But I like that they're adding competitive gameplay, but to me, they're calling it tournaments. And again, it's one of those things where I feel like it's a lost in translation thing, because I don't like it when you call a game mode in the game and you call it tournament, when to me all it looks like is ranked gameplay, right? And
Not technicality, I'd have to agree with you there, yeah, for sure.
and then
The tournament's kind of like an event,
and then
right?
they're putting
like
them behind a
time.
paywall. Like, sure,
No.
you might be receiving, you know, tickets from rewards or battle trophies eventually.
You buy them by Alliance for like 3 of them, or you spend 300 gold eagles for 20 of them.
So you can still
20
buy them
lives.
using freemium? Alright.
You can just use
to me,
Lions, yeah.
Because I didn't understand the difference. To me, it looked like you were getting... Alright, so you're getting more tickets, is what you're saying.
There's a massive gap between what you get with Lion and what you get with Eagle.
Okay.
Like, with Lions, you get... With 50,000 Lions, you get 3 defeats. With 100 gold eagles, my apologies, not 300. With 100 gold eagles, you get 20 defeats.
Oh god,
so,
that's a huge difference for almost no money.
yeah, but that's just a little bit of incentive. You're not paying to win, you're just paying to play.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
Tournament.
Like, hey, we're adding again. Like, I'm looking at this. We're adding competitive gameplay. We're adding ranked gameplay, right? And what the fuck are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Because what I feel like is happening is that you're not.
Well, no, we're listening about someone.
Because I feel like they're adding ranked gameplay and they're making it. I don't like that it has anything to do with money. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have ranked gameplay in the game. I want to have this 4-on-4 thing. Is cool. But why do they have to find a way to monetize it, right? And call it tournaments? Because now I feel that Gaijin is gonna put less of an effort to actually host real tournaments like the Gladiator ones. Like, I feel they're like, oh, now we have, here's what they call it in Russia, cyber sports. And it's like, what? No, cyber sports is not like, you want community or third party or you host it yourself tournaments with fucking prices and you know, commentators, replays, like you want that shit.
Darn them. For less than $1, you can get 20 defeats in a game. You're not paying to win, you're just paying to play this mode. Or for 50,000, you get 3 defeats. I don't see a problem with this. It's not like a different game where you spend money on a particular type of high awesome shell.
I mean, if they renamed it, maybe I would have been happier. I'm just upset that there's gonna be the confusion when they try and sell real tournaments. If they do that, I don't know where they're going with this. Then, you know, I'm like,
out of respect for tournament players, usually they know their shit when they're getting into it. If you're a competitive player, usually you kind of keep track of numbers. That kind of comes with being a tournament player.
I'm worried about the translation part because they're gonna be doing everything in Russian, and then somebody has to translate it, and we're gonna be sitting here trying to understand what they're doing.
I'm gonna step in right now, and if you have a look at the current tournament, which packs you are ranked 38 on, the SB side of it, the 4v4, if you read the description, the best 100 players from each mode will play in the first automated duel tournament in 1v1 format. There is no pay to win there. There is no paying for entry. That is the top 100 most skilled players who have I'm giving you a little bit of a compliment. The skilled players who have entered that tournament get to go up and face other people of skilled tournaments. Is that paid entry? No. Yes, that would be nice to be commentated and watched, but I have
while
to
you're
say
playing
that
the tournament, you're still grinding new
But
planes and unlocks.
right.
Yeah, but
Right.
so what about those future tickets they've announced?
Well, the future tickets where you get entry, the last one they did was for.
They haven't done this.
So,
yes,
Andreas,
they have.
if you're not that
No.
skilled, if you're not in the top
Yes.
100, you don't get your free way into this. You can still get into it by using Lions, which you gain normally in the game. Or
I would like to say that they have also done this before. They did have the tickets which you could win with those boxes with the planes, and if you went in, you could then win the Russian Spitfire. If I'm not mistaken, there was a tournament that they did where you had to win X amount of victories. You then got a chance to win the Russian Spitfire. So yes, they have done winning tickets for sort of tournament like entries.
Oh, I'm 56 now. I was 38 this morning. Shit.
You got to go play. We're gonna stop the podcast now. He's got to go carry himself to rank 50. You're still in the top 100, so you still get.
Anyway, I don't know.
It
It rubs you the wrong way that apparently something about the premiums and prices and stuff like that. I don't like it when they're trying to sell me competitive gameplay, ranked gameplay, and oh yeah, there's some way of monetization on it in the way they've done it. It doesn't seem to be expensive. It doesn't seem to be crazy. I mean, people play Hearthstone and throw dollars at that all the damn time, right? So it's obviously not.
Oh, that's a good point. You brought up Hearthstone, which is got a lot of competitive play, and people who play that game free to play have no competitive chance versus somebody who's got all the cards, correct? Well, in this tournament, if you want to enter it, you're paying for an entry, which I'm sure you do in poker tournaments. In poker tournaments, you normally pay for an entry. There's not a lot of tournaments you can just enter for free with high rolling amounts of money. What's the problem with that?
Isn't there a factor about this where you can also wager on your match as well?
Yeah, this is something about the wager. Yeah, you can do something about wagering. There's betting on.
Which you don't have to.
Yeah, I don't think you have to do that. No.
So I'm having a hard time finding the bad part about this. It sounds pretty legit to me.
Well, if you wanna foster a competitive scene, which will be a foundation for you going out there and be like, hey, our game is an esport game. I mean, we have tournaments and competitive teams and clans and blah blah blah. Then putting any type of paid ticket system at all, even though you can spend lions and all that stuff, right? I guess we don't know yet the rewards. Maybe the rewards in playing in it and doing decently will be high enough for you to go infinite. It's what it's called, right? Where you don't actually have to spend any money to actually enter, right? Then it's gonna be good. But unfortunately, I don't think you're gonna be making enough lions to be able to go infinite for free. You're gonna then have so if you're coming into this game, you're like, oh goddamn, I want to play competitive. I want to focus on that. I want to be a pro in War Thunder. Then you might have to spend money.
Yeah, so you either get in with skill, or you pay your way in by lion or eagle.
Yeah, but that's putting up a barrier. Like there will be like
you can pay with lions?
Like you guys said earlier, there will be kids who don't
50,000
have money,
lions.
right? Yes.
50,000 lines. That's like one game. That is one game in a P47 where you get 12 kills. Yeah. I like. So, are we talking about this 1v1 tournament that they're doing?
No, I'm just talking about the future of whatever tournament is.
Yeah, we're going off their dev blog tournament thing.
I mean, if there's a lot of people out there who don't have enough time to sort of grind out, like...
But, okay, so which fosters the biggest competitive scene for your game? A system where there is monetization and money involved, or one where there isn't? You can never argue that monetization will foster the bigger one, because there's no other game that has done that.
What?
I mean,
there's in-game squirrel tournaments, which are cool. It's tournaments. Yeah, it's a weird word, like more like ranked gameplay, if you want to call it, or whatever. But then,
I don't even know what you would call it.
This is future ranked gameplay to me. This is future ranked gameplay to me.
Competitive mode. I mean,
a competitive. A very serious competitive mode. I wouldn't call it a tournament. I wouldn't call it ranked.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what this is. It's not so much
a
tournament.
It's more how big is your internet penis.
Tournaments are events, right? Like tournaments are like events. It come to this tournament, come to this set of days or whatever, right? This is more like competition, leaderboard grinding. And then when it comes you're talking about the monetization thing, Andreas, usually those are done by third parties, where you kind of you pay to get into this thing. You actually go to a place and play it and stuff like that. They don't really. I don't know very many games that do it internally, where you have to pay to get into just sitting at your home and doing it.
CS:GO just recently had the what was it?
The thing with those ones where you add money into it, you pay to get into it, stuff like that. They usually like to have you there for obvious hacking reasons. They kind of want to know what you're using, because they have limitations on those type of games. There's certain you've ever seen those other big tournaments. They kind of want to know what you're using for a setup. And usually when you're doing that type of thing where you have money on the line, usually you're on an actual team and you got T-shirts and sponsors and shit. That's a different ball game. But
but there's no top. But there's never gonna be a top scene like that if you don't have what you call it, the grassroots, the roots that feed that. Like, if you didn't have people competing in online tournaments, online competitive gameplay in Counter-Strike, for example, being kids or amateurs or people just, playing in the lower amateur leagues, or just not me branding them now, right? You wouldn't have high competitive players either. Like, you can't have the pros, the top players who make money and make a living playing esports without having so many more people trying to become that next pro, right?
Isn't this kind of like a nice first step toward that, if they want to do that?
This is what I think they're trying to do, but putting, like, just even trying to put money somehow into this. Like, I don't know. I am being skeptic. I don't like how it's looking, like how they put it, like, on their dev blog. I don't like the smell of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, oh, you're trying to do something great, because Gaijin has even employed a guy to make it a freaking esport game. Like, they have a guy who's, like, responsible for esport, right? Like, they want this game to be competitive and be there. Like, they want to have a pro scene and all that stuff. They want to have leagues. They want to have all those things. They've said so. They want that. But, and I think this is one of their things, like, okay, they're trying to foster that grassroots of people who play competitive. Because anybody who knows anything about esports or any sport, you need that. There won't be a pro scene if you don't have the amateurs that are trying to become the next big deal, right? And you want to make it as easy as possible for that to blossom, right? To be a thing. And if you are making it so, well, yeah, you might get like 3 deaths here for this freemium currency, which you still have to kind of play and get. Sure, 50k isn't much for anyone in here, but I'm just saying there will be players that aren't good. Like, it's not supposed to be. You have to be good to be able to do this. Do you know what I mean?
Hang on a second. Hang on. So you're saying that...
So an unforced, unneeded to less than $1 pay-in is bad?
But you're saying some people who play this game are kids. They won't have that dollar
but lines, even. First of all,
right.
Lines are free.
They don't.
First of all, lines are free.
Hence why it's bad.
First of all, lines are free. Second of all, if you're saying that anybody could just enter for free, then... And they can't afford to, like, grind out 50k lines because they're not good enough. Does that then mean that they're not worthy enough to be in the tournament in the first place? Like, what is the point of having them in the tournament if they are not even good enough to then have the pay in for it, even if it's free? Like, that kind of seems backward to me. Like, oh, you're not good enough to be in the tournament? Oh, it's okay. We'll just let you in for free to this tournament where there's going to be people.
This isn't a tournament. Like
packs.
that's the wrong name. Like, this is...
Right, competitive play. However you want to play, however you want to swing it.
So in League of Legends then, where they have leagues and pro plays, right? Like, you can play ranked gameplay. Do you have to pay anything for that?
Technically, kind of, sort of, in a warped kind of way. Yes. First of all,
this is getting interesting, but we are over the time.
Yeah, and
final point. Yes, you do have to kind of pay because you have to have so many characters. You have to be a certain rank level. You have to be the rank 40, I think it is, or 20, or whatever their max rank is. That means you have to play it. And if you don't get to that rank 20 in the first place, then you won't be able to play. And if you don't have enough characters because you lose every game, like eventually somebody's going to be able to. You throw enough shit at the wall, then some of it's going to stick. But you can't say that 50k is a lot of lions, and if...
I haven't said that, it's just the fact that, what was it, you got 3 deaths from that, but hey, pay money, you get 20.
Pay less than $1 to get 20.
So the free-to-play guy can die 3 times.
But then he can buy another
and the guy with money can die 20 times.
I can throw more 50k lions at it, surely, right? Just like the person who pays money can.
We don't know that yet. It's not in yet. It didn't.
I'm
really
sitting here looking at my 8.718 million lions.
Man, I've only got 1 million.
And then my friend Dylan has 80 million lions. I mean, for people who like the game and want to do competitive stuff, it's not going to be an issue. It's not going to be an issue at all. And if a guy who's new to the game wants to get in the competition scene, usually when you're playing competitionally wise, you kind of try to get better at the game.
Yeah,
and
but
usually that kind of comes from
where's
where's
the competitive gameplay for those who are trying to become good then?
That's just playing the game standard.
Just playing the game standard.
Come on, that's not gonna be 4 versus 4.
Yes.
League of Legends. League of Legends, if you do solo queue, is nothing like it is in tournament gameplay because you have a team sponsored. You know those people. You play with them all
Yeah,
the
but
time.
they have
They're
a
guaranteed packs
ranked
to play with
game
the same people
mode
all the
still.
time.
It's still ranked. And to get picked into a decent team, eventually they're going to be looking at your rank, right? So you got to be making good in a ranked ladder gameplay. Do we have that here? No.
There's a PvP ranking on your stat card.
Yeah, I would also have to say that it doesn't matter.
Eisen, that PvP ranking thing is kind of, it's broken.
You mean
it's
when
broken.
it told me I was number 1, it was lying?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
influenced by premium.
Like I would have to say that
yeah,
pay to win on that ranking board system. I'm just gonna say that if somebody who's brand new to this game is going to want to play competitive, they're going to have to grind out some of the planes first of all. Anyways, like you can't just walk in, just like in League of Legends, you can't just walk in. And...
you do have to be at some, and you have to be at like tier 3.
But you don't know if those 3 deaths and then you're out, or if you can renew them and buy as many as you want. We don't know that yet. We don't do.
All right. Well, if that pay-to-win guy wants to throw 20 lives at me, I will quite happily chew on those, and I will spit them back out, and I will fight with my 3 lives harder than anybody else will, other than Eisen. Me and Eisen.
We're finishing.
Lives.
Yeah,
we should
Adam,
make a 4v4 team, Adam. Let's do this.
Adam,
Let's go now.
Right after this.
I need to play War Game Red Dragon. And I need to have dinner.
Alright, we're finishing this here because, yeah, I can't get my point across, and I respect your guys' opinion.
I can't get my point across.
I respect
ending the podcast.
No, What? Okay. I respect you guys' opinion, but I'm gonna be skeptic about the way they're going about things. I don't think they're I don't know. It feels too monetized to be there to foster a good competitive environment or scene. At least from my experience with previous competitive titles and stuff that I've seen and followed and played in myself, some of them. Yeah. I think it looks fishy. It doesn't look like the right way to go about things. You should make it as simple and easy as possible.
You know,
and like Dr. Pentakill said, there should be a ranked game mode in this game. I agree with that. But it shouldn't be like, oh, you have to pay for lives or deaths or something. It's weird. It's weird. Doesn't matter if it's cheap and easy. Yeah, I'm a little bit mad, because I felt this discussion went the wrong way. Anyway. Thank you guys for watching. I guess thank you, Eisennhower, for being here, laughing your ass off.
Yes.
What?
You guess thank you? Or thank you?
Thank you, Eisen. We love you. All the
Thank you,
Thanks,
Eisen, for stopping by, buddy.
Thanks, Pax. I love you, Scream.
All right.
Where's the love for me?
I said I love you,
dude,
man.
he loves
take
you,
you
Adam.
to a
Holy
OnlyFans.
shit. Don't even start with that. You know he loves you. All right.
With the homo.
All the homos.
All of them.
And we'll
10.
be back
It was
next week
great. It was great being here. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It was nice having you. And we will be here next week with more Jingles Watch. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. And yes, I'm salt.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, the salt.